Hello there! From behind the yellow line, this is Trammin episode 288. My name is Kirk, and today I'm joined by my friend, and he's not happy, Bob. Not happy. Freddy.
Ahoy there. Our Big Thunder topic of the week is G. Thanks, Bob.
Thanks for nothing.
Hello, everyone. Welcome aboard Trammin, a Disneyland podcast. Please lower your head and watch your step while boarding. As a courtesy to other passengers, we ask that there be no eating, drinking, or smoking on board. In just a few moments, we will begin our trip into the Disneyland Resort news and topic of the week. Ladies and gentlemen, this tram is ready to depart. Driver, you are clear.
Welcome back to Trammin, everyone. Happy Wednesday. We're your hosts, Kirk and Freddy. What's up, Freddy?
Hey, it's good to be back on board here.
I was like, made a bet with myself. I'm like, is he going to say back on the pod? Because you always love to be back. Always good to have you.
Yeah.
So thanks for coming. I never say thanks at the end, so thank you for being here.
Happy to.
Yeah.
Happy
So I texted you. I'm like, hey, you down to be critical?
Yeah.
About the Bob? And we'll explain why
Stripes.
we're doing this episode in a bit. But let's see what Bob came here to do and clean up Chapek's mess with mousekeeping. If this is your first time here, welcome aboard Trammin, a Disneyland podcast where we talk about the Disneyland Resort through and only through our eyes. Listen to full episodes every Wednesday or topic-only uploads on Big Thunder Thursdays. If you enjoy the show, like, subscribe, comment, and review us wherever you can, including Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and of course, Rain's favorite, YouTubes. Head to Trammin.com to write into the show, find our socials, request access to our Discord, find some cool tiki shirts at tikikingdom.com, and some bread at bublinas.com. You can find all these links and lore on Trammin.com.
Yes, you can.
Let's get in some news. First headline, dark times ahead. Not really, though. Just a suite of Disneyland After Dark nights announced. Not dates yet, I don't think. Oh, no, there are dates.
They are dates, yeah, because they already have when you can purchase tickets.
Yeah, way too many of them, but you can check out Sweethearts Night, 70 Years of Favorites, Disney Channel Night, Star Wars Night, and Pride Night.
Woohoo.
Yeah. Cool stuff.
Yeah. I mean, the new 70 Years of Favorites is pretty much throwback night. So you're bringing back all those retro vibes, bringing back the, you can meet, what is it? Father and mother from Carousel Progress. Flick is the big one.
Flick. Shout out Tracy. What's up? Yeah. Disney Channel Night. I guess that did okay.
Yeah, it did. It's quite popular. And I think it's just another, like, most of these are nostalgia plays. So it gives you that opportunity. It's all about those character meet and greets. You know, you're going to have some food offerings.
The first two were meant to be a throwback. I mean, they did Star Wars Night as a separate thing before, right? Mm-hmm. But then they did Sweethearts Night as a throwback to Disneyland Date Night.
Yep.
Which is a thing they used to do with like a little dance floor. And then 90s Night. Those are the first two Disneyland After Darks. And I went to the first 90s Night. It was interesting. Star Wars Night used to suck. Apparently it's fun. Dude, thinking about it, finding the cheapest Star Wars night, and just riding everything and taking pictures with Ewoks.
That's a good play.
What did you do when you went? Did you do photo ops?
No photo ops. Just walking around. Ate a bunch of the different food offerings that they had there. Hit every attraction that we wanted to do. You know, little to no wait time. It was really nice.
Yeah, I might depending on the price. I doubt the cheapest night's gonna probably be around like 120. Yeah, not like an Oogie Boogie 180 joint, you know?
That's the good thing, is you aren't paying those Oogie Boogie prices, but you still get all your favorite Disneyland attractions included.
So I'll pick the cheapest night. You'll see me there riding rides, so you won't see me, really. And I will try to eat the food. But yeah, I don't even know what I'd wear. Would I dress up? Would you do people?
People do. I mean, I threw on a Star Tours jacket, you know? It's like you can just get in your, Star Wars zone and go have fun. You don't really need to go over the top though.
Life regret not buying the like aluminum foil Star Tours jacket. I think it was $50. It might have been $100 though. It was at
I don't know. It was like 80 or 90.
No. There's a picture of me wearing it at Company D.
Oh yeah,
and there would have
been cheap. Yeah,
because it might have been $40 then if it was originally $80. The thing is, when people are at Company D, if it's like more than $6, they don't want it.
Mm-hmm.
But $40, that was a nice jacket, looked good on me. But I think I was like, when am I going to wear this? It's a lot. It's a lot of jacket.
Yeah. Well, that's the problem. You can only have so many jackets. Then you end up, they're sitting there collecting dust. You're like, when am I going to wear this again? What was the point in buying it?
So we got, let's see. I don't know what I'd call this thing, but another headline. But
more adventures ahead.
Yeah, at Disneyland Paris.
Yeah.
So are they officially inaugurating Disney Adventure World?
Yes. So Disney Adventure World is the rename of the Disney Studios Park, which is the second park, the second gate over at Disneyland Paris. It was rushed by Eisner at the end of his ruling there. When he was pushing that through, pushing through Hong Kong Disneyland and California Adventure. All these were budget parks, but by far the worst one was the Disney Studios Park in Paris. They have always been trying to fix it, adding new attractions, most of them a bunch of flat rides. So there's like too many spinners. You're like, okay, this is getting to Pixar Pier levels of crazy. But now they're finally going to rebrand it. They're finally investing money into it. And so it's being rebranded into Disney Adventure World, officially inaugurated as that. I guess the opening will be March 29th, 2026. Along with that, they're going to open up World of Frozen, which is pretty much a copy of what they have over in Hong Kong. So it'll have the Frozen Ever After attraction that's in Epcot. It's just a more advanced version of that with actual animatronics instead of the projection faces. And then it will also have Adventure Way and Adventure Bay. So Adventure Way is like this connective tissue that leads from the entryway into the park, which is kind of you're inside a giant soundstage, and it's like the golden age of Hollywood. So it still has that Hollywood idea. You have to think of this as essentially California Adventure in Paris. That's kind of what they're going for here. But yeah, Adventure Way is going to have some attractions on it. They have a Tangled spinner and they have an Up spinner that they're going to have. So again, more flat rides. But it's going to open up this whole new lagoon, Adventure Bay, that they're going to build lands around. The next expansion that they're going to start working on is Lion King. They already started doing development for that and teasing that out with models and everything, especially through the different series that they've been doing on YouTube. The other thing they're going to have is Disney Cascade of Lights, which is essentially their World of Color.
Oh, okay.
You redo. They're just doing the DCA 2.0 playbook. It's literally that. We have a new immersive land. We have a big nighttime show. There it is. And in that nighttime show tease, because they actually showed a model of what the barges are going to look like. They're going to come out at night and attach to the middle of the lagoon. During the day, it looks like a nice park. At night, everything's going to kind of move in place for that big show. It's going to have drones, water, projection, all that stuff. But on the barge, they actually named the barges after the different lands they have in the park. So they have one that's named after Iron Man, one that's Frozen, one that's Racers because they have a Cars studio tour ride. That's
oh my God. If you guys don't know, look up the Disneyland Paris. Look up Disneyland Paris because that's the way you're going to find it.
It's Cars road trip.
Yeah, it's a trip.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah.
And then one of the barges is named Na'vi, as in Avatar.
Ruh-roh.
So the suspicion, and this could be a tease for what they're going to do next, is after they're done with Lion King, then they would do another Pandora land.
The Fire Land.
Here's the volcano, people. I don't know if they're going to do that.
Well, okay, hold on. So we got Disneyland here.
Yeah.
Okay, we got Disney World, Disneyland Paris.
Yeah.
Shanghai, Hong Kong, Tokyo.
Yes.
That's 6, right? How many Avatar movies are there going to be?
There's going to be 5. If he makes, James Cameron has started to go down on the idea that he's going to make those right away. He's like, maybe if this one does well, it's like if we make another $2 billion, then we'll pay.
So there's going to be 5. Tokyo will reject it because they're not lame. And we will have each Disney park will have its own Avatar movie land tie-in.
Yeah, absolutely. And then Disneyland Dubai, which we'll talk about at the very end here in our
Abu Dhabi.
Abu Dhabi. Yes, you're right.
How
I
lame
keep
it is.
messing it up.
Yeah.
There you go. But yeah, Abu Dhabi will definitely, I think that could have a Avatar tie-in. We'll see how they build that out. But yeah, that was kind of all of our information on Disney Adventure World. They had a whole like press briefing. They had invited people out there to go actually tour the land because they're already done with the walkways and stuff. They're just doing a lot more sort of finishing touches. So yeah, there you go.
Yeah. And if you think we forgot something, our next headline, nothing to Olaf at. Roaming Olaf revealed as a FU in particular to Kevin Perjurer from the Disney Company.
Yeah.
The day after Defunctland released a documentary called Disney's Living Characters, Broken Promises, Disney's Living Characters.
Yeah.
Disney releases a living character. Because is that the conceit of the...
So if you watch all the way to the very end,
I haven't watched any of it.
That's
the thing.
Don't
spoil it. But
yeah,
his teaser at the end of the first part of this was, these are all the walk around things that like they tested and whatnot. So anyways, yeah, they revealed this animatronic of Olaf.
Yeah, its living characters aren't dead, and you know, we had the walk around droids that we're testing as well, and in fact, those droids will be in the Mandalorian movie that's coming out next year, which is kind of crazy. You're getting that tie-in again too, but those have progressed, and now you're putting an Olaf skin on top of it. But it's so impressive. Like, have you watched those videos?
He's really good.
It's kind of mind blowing. You're like, that's the character for the movie.
They're so smart because the first one was Groot, who is tiny and is a walking tree.
Yeah.
The second were droids with chicken legs. So, and it's, for some reason, it's easier for robots to walk with like these flamingo chicken legs.
Yeah.
With the hinge behind them. And then now it's Olaf, who walks silly. He hobbles around.
And he has these two little pucks that move back and forth. So it's super easy to hide that mechanism. They actually showed kind of the inside of what's going on. It's very much, again, those BDX droids, new frame built on top. What's cool, too, is the animatronic has the same kind of like Mr. Potato Head. You can take his nose off. You can take his arms off and reattach them, and they function.
Oh, okay.
It's crazy.
I didn't watch the full video. I watched part of it.
And it's autonomous. So that means you take his nose off and it'll put into the function of what he's saying, commenting on the fact that you did that. So it's not like he'll like glitch and pause and do, you know, and move in. He'll just naturally flow into that next conversation tree. There's a lot of developments on the AI side of this that they even talked about in that we call it Imagineering episode, because it was all about Disney research and development, their whole like R&D division. And they talked to the CEO of NVIDIA too. So it's like, you're really getting into that sort of Disney as a tech company side that's attached to Disney experiences in the parks.
There is I believe it's a Poseidon Entertainment video. Disney, the world's worst tech company.
Yeah.
They have all these crazy ideas, and I think they are afraid to release them.
Well, it's really, I think that you just have to watch that 4-hour Defunctland video, and you learn so much about this battle that takes place between management of a theme park and, you know, what you do on the everyday and dealing with the real world, and the R&D, the sort of the dream side of it, where it's like, hey, we're coming up with this super advanced technology. It's super amazing, all this stuff, and the ways that we can interact with people. And then when that runs up against the business, that's where things start to break down. But as long as the research division is protected, they're going to keep developing these new advances and getting to places where the business side can't resist this new advanced technology and everything that it can achieve.
I'm sure the promise of Olaf will be broken very soon, though.
I think
they don't let these things walk around, dude.
See, the thing is, it requires, and this is pointed out, and I'm not trying to spoil too much, but this requires somebody in leadership to care. So as long as somebody who is either the CEO of the company, in charge of the division, or in charge of the parks cares, and they have to be at a high enough level, then these things continue. A perfect example that's brought up by Kevin is the Spider-Man robot at California Adventure.
Here's the thing, though.
That was not supposed to be a thing outside of the opening. Just like Galaxy's Edge, just like these other things. We have something super advanced we want to show you, but it's for a one-day only event.
But this also requires human beings to not be jerks. Spider-Man just flies into a net. So Disney can test things and get a free show out of it and not pay a human. even though they have to pay a human. They don't have to pay a stunt guy.
I'll tell you right now, Olaf is not going to be walking around that land. They have a designated meet and greet space that doesn't exist in Hong Kong that's being built in the Paris land, where you go inside of the castle and we have a whole meet and greet hall. We have a whole thing that you get lined up for, and then you go into the room to meet Anna and Elsa, and Olaf will come walk in, have an interaction, walk out, go charge, and then have the next meet and greet.
Kind of like BB-8.
Yeah.
He's stationary kind of, right? But something like that. And even, what's his face? Herbie? Is that his name?
Oh, yeah. Herbie.
Yeah.
Yeah, like in Tomorrowland, like he was separated from the guests on purpose because you don't want this thing to fail. And I never saw any videos of him failing on stage. Like they locked that thing down. They also revealed that Herbie animatronic, so the movie Fantastic Four is like already finished, locked. They're starting to do their marketing. It was 3 months from when they started working and conceptualizing the animatronic to when it was in Tomorrowland for the opening of the movie. 3 months.
He's basically BB-8, but his whole outside doesn't need to spin, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's balancing on a ball. You have a small, thing. It's kind of like that. It's similar, but it's still like designed from scratch to make it look like the movie.
Well, what I mean is like the interior is like BB-8 because BB-8 has like his interior is not a ball.
No.
But his whole ball needs to spin, which is a problem when it's his entire body. But when you just put it at the bottom of Herbie, it's like I can see Disney being able to pull that off. Not like, they did something simple. It's that they already had the chops and they're like, just we can actually just build a regular robot. It doesn't need to be a slippery ball.
And it also comes from the entertainment side of the business, actually conceiving, hey, this would be fun to have in a theme park because we're working with Disney here. So of course they can actually build it. I would say it's something similar is like I just watched Wicked for Good today. And you're just like everything in there. You're like, yeah, you could build that in the theme park. I'm like, it's that type of like design where somebody's like, yeah, let's like make this more actually realize like, okay, this makes mechanical sense.
I think they're definitely going to do it.
Yeah, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was a fun time. It was fine. I was happier with that than I was with, oh goodness, what was the last movie I watched? Oh gosh, Running Man. Yeah, Running Man was not a fun time for me.
Yeah, I think everyone knew we could not part 2. The John Chu School of Naming Things, dude.
It's so bad. Just keep it consistent, please.
Yeah. Whatever. Part 2. Those who have seen the musical know it's kind of boring. And the book way worse because it's just fanfic. But like, I don't think anything was like bad. I heard some of the acting was bad. Whatever. But it was never going to be as strong as the first part, and it probably should have just been a long movie.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I think it would have made, because the first movie does the musical like, okay, we're going to crescendo here and then you get your intermission. It makes the first movie so strong that it was as popular as it was. If you attach this anchor that is the other side, now it's not that bad, but if you attach that to the other side, then you will leave, we could have cut it here. Yeah. So it's like, that's why I think they did it smartly. Plus they just got to keep it in the public consciousness for like 2 years.
Oh yeah. You want to do that if you can, because it's not going to really hurt it long term. And they're going to get their theme park stuff out of it. So,
well, and that's kind of connected back down to Frozen with Wicked being like that inspiration for that model, for what they did there with the characters. Anyway, that's Olaf. So yeah. Very exciting, cool stuff. That'll be in Paris, and it will debut the same day in Hong Kong. So they'll have 2 of those.
Yeah. Wait, the
Olaf animatronic.
So they built 2 of them.
He will be there March 29th, 2026, as well in Hong Kong.
Got it. Okay. Cool stuff. Cool stuff out of Disney. In bigger news though, go check out the Defunctland documentary.
Definitely. It is a long watch. I mean, you're looking at 4 hours and like 15 minutes or whatever it is. It is impressively long, but none of that is wasted time. So
is he doing a part 3 or this was it?
No, this was it.
He was going to do part 3, right? And then he just...
I think it was just like, this is too big of a... Like, I think he started out in, initially it's like, yeah, this can be an hour or whatever it is. And then it's like, as you go through, it's like, he's explaining every detail of like, okay, pause, let's explain this. Pause, let's explain this. And so instead of it being just rushing through, assuming the audience knows everything about Disney research, living characters, the entire history of the experiences division when it comes to its interaction with that. Like, you have to kind of go through time with every leadership change, with every iteration. And there's so many parts of the Living Characters Initiative or what you could include in that it became this beast that is like taking up Kevin's like whole year basically in making this one doc.
Yeah, we're gonna watch.
It's a season of Defunctland that you can binge watch.
Yeah.
Think of it. You should have just done it that way.
Yeah, we're gonna watch it on like Thanksgiving because I never know what to do during the day, so we'll do that.
Cool.
But yeah, we don't have anything for You're Right. Yeah, so we'll mention here the Trammin meetup.
Oh yeah, December 5th.
December 5th.
Let's go.
5 p.m. Hollywood Lounge, as always. We'll start there. There will be music there. There will be food there. I believe a booth is there.
Yeah, there should be one or two. There always is now.
Yeah, the Festival Holiday is a little smaller, but I think that there should be a booth there. But come by, get food, drink, whatever. And
I will be there.
Yeah, Freddie will be there.
Yeah.
John and a bunch of people will be there. Rain will be there. And I hope you'll be there. I know the reservations are a little rough right now. I think they'll open up the week of. It just happens. So keep your eye out. I'm sorry. We should have announced it here before Instagram, but it is what it is. 6 wouldn't have worked out anyway because of candlelight. That would have been a mess.
Yeah, no,
I didn't realize. So shout out Emily. And then we won't just be at Hollywood Lounge. We'll probably roam around a little bit. We usually like ride Maters, which is a good one. And then
communal attractions.
Yeah, we may park hop for fireworks. We'll see. We're a big group, but that could be fun. If we don't park up for fireworks, we will park up after close if you're a crazy one. So yeah, come check that out. But you should already know about that because I released it in the audio feed as a.
That was really smart.
It's an episode. I forgot that I could do that. Like, if I ever need to announce something, I could put it in the title and then record something.
Yeah.
So go check that out. Go check that. If you haven't listened to that, it's a little fun. Go check it out. But for now, here's our Big Thunder topic of the week. Gee, thanks, Bob. On November 23rd, 2022, Rain and I released an episode of Trammin for Thanksgiving titled Thanks Be to Bob, where Bob Iger, in real life, replaced Bob Chapek in a grand return to the Walt Disney Company as CEO. We thought this could be the start of a new era for Disney, shiny and chrome, shepherding in magic, wonder, creativity, and getting rid of all the nastiness caused by paycheck, Chapek, and whatnot. But things have not gone the way we hoped.
No.
Things are not dire. The company is not in shambles, despite what your aunt tells you at Thanksgiving. But we got some problems. We
have concerns.
We're not happy, Bob.
Yeah.
Not happy. So let's just start at the daily experience of being at a Disney park. The Walt Disney Company is more than Disney parks, but it is also like 66% Disney parks. So there is right now no end in sight for the overcrowding of at least the California parks. But I have seen Florida is like an absolute nightmare, especially Magic Kingdom.
Yeah.
Overbooked and overcrowded. No end in sight, seemingly.
Well, and to be fair, it wasn't that much better before COVID. Like before all of this, it was still crowded. It's just more that because of reservations, because of all this stuff, it has spread out that demand, and then the tide has risen. And so that's the thing where you just feel like there's maybe 1 or 2 weeks where it's off season, where it used to be like, oh, you go for a whole month where it's like, great, walk in, there's no one's here, it's perfect. And now it's just continuously packed.
Yeah. And it's also like, even in like 2018, 2019, I'd go during like Christmas time. And it's not that I'm not asking for the dead days, the empty days, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I am, right? Obviously. but you don't want that for the company if you care about longevity and whatever. But I didn't have problems going. You'd go. Security was usually fine, right? Every now and then there was like weirdness with security, right? But parking usually okay. Now we did used to run out of parking, but we never really had like a full Pixar Pals year where like people were still afraid of Galaxy's Edge and then COVID happened. So, but I'd be able to just go walk down Main Street, get a sandwich, like I didn't have problems walking around.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of the problem we're having now, where you walk in and it is just a madhouse.
Yeah, continuously.
And, construction's kind of done, right? Disneyland?
Like right at this moment and going into the holidays for the next 2 months, pretty much everything's open. And there's nothing under refurbishment. It's just the only impact on construction is Avengers Campus. That's it. So,
and even then,
that's pretty good.
They closed one walkway and are expanding it. So it's not like this crazy construction time, but the parks are clearly oversold. The weird thing is, like, they used to have those capacity issues, but now that like people know that they have to get a reservation, they know how far they can push the reservation system.
Yeah.
And they just let people in. Now, we always have this theory where if the reservation system was gone, would attendance lessen a little bit? But I'm not sure.
See, I think, like, and this part of it, they're never going to get rid of the reservation system, especially when it lets them know how impacted they're going to be. Like, you have demand intent from guests. And so for a certain, to a certain extent, you can kind of keep the floodgates open, but you know how many people are going to come in advance versus the day of business situation, which they used to have, where it's like, why is it busy? What happened? Like, we thought it was going to be empty today. And, I guess this thing is popular that we, announced or whatever it is. And so now you get hit with crowds, or you just have no idea. It's like, oh, cool. This is the cheapest day. Oh, wow. Everybody showed up. That's kind of crazy. We had lower prices anticipating that it would be not busy, but okay.
Yeah, but they already learned that when they introduced multi-tier. There's just a 2-tier pricing system back in the day. They knew that Wednesdays became busy because they were cheap. Like, cast members knew that.
Yeah.
They were just like, oh, Mondays are a little busy because people extend their vacation, and then but then like it's really bad Wednesday, but then like Friday not too bad because Friday and Saturday is so expensive. If like the average bear can figure that out.
Yeah.
Disney with all their AI and machine learning, like, come on.
And outside of the crowd conversation, it's just the general stress of going to Disneyland is, I think, at its highest point. I forget which outlet did a survey that was like going to Disney parks is like your most stressful possible vacation or like leisure activity. Like that was one of the highest ranking things that you could do, of like just like being stressed, being unsatisfied. Like, Disney just isn't reaching, it's not satisfying the people who are going during these busier times. And it's I hear it all the time of just like people who are just like, I'm just constantly stressed. Like, I just don't know what's going on, how to manage all this stuff. You have a million different ways of the Disneyland app. It's like just filled with all these layers of software, and I don't know how to navigate the system. I don't know how to use this. And it's one of those things where I think the object of it is more like challenging than it actually is. Like, it's like, if you take a second, you do a little bit of research, you calm down, you can navigate it just fine. You can, the resources are out there. You have us, you have the parks blogs and everything. But it still is daunting to kind of show up, and now there's, 90,000 people around you. How do you deal with that situation? How do you meet the needs of your party? The kids that you have with you, all that stuff.
Yeah. It's like, I don't have relaxing trips anymore, and my trips are extremely low stakes because I've already spent the money. So I'm not really paying anything to be there.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not paying for parking. I'm not paying for a ticket. I haven't bought a lightning lane, a hotel. And the gas isn't really a factor for me. So, it's like it, and I still feel like, oh my God, man, like, I got to do all this stuff before I get in. I got to do all this crazy security, wait in like multiple lines from the parking line. to the security line, to the tram line. And I think what bothers me is like this. We're going to talk about Bob Iger and his like preservation of legacy or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But it's Bob Iger acts like he cares and he wants to fix the company, because I think he does care about the company.
Mm-hmm.
But then it's like so misplaced and misguided. He doesn't care about guest experience. Just straight up, him and whoever's under him don't care about guest experience. It's all bottom line. And I've said it before, a good CEO can convince shareholders that not trying to maximize profits every quarter will lead to higher profits long term. And I know, people will say shareholders only care about the next quarter, but I constantly bring up Amazon and Jeff Bezos. I don't like Jeff Bezos.
Mm-hmm.
However, Jeff Bezos convinced shareholders for over 10 years that not making a profit was okay and it would be worth it.
Yeah.
And he was right. And it's like, all you have to point to is, hey, if you don't try to squeeze everything, more will come.
Mm-hmm.
Like it just sucks to see. It sucks to see like this company become like, I don't enjoy talking trash about it.
No.
It's because people are like, oh, how's Disneyland lately? And I just say busy.
Yeah.
I'm never like good. I'm never like fun, which is a problem. And I don't know if other people out there are feeling it too.
Because that's kind of the reason you're paying for a Magic Key. The reason that you're investing into this thing is because you're using it as a leisure activity, as an escape, as a way to go and enjoy yourselves and your loved ones. And it's a space that is pleasant to be in. That's the goal.
Yeah.
And the problem is when that place isn't pleasant to be in anymore, then why am I spending all this money? And now you start ending up in this whole conundrum. And I think like a lot of that too is how you go into it, because it's like, if you already have, I know what the parks are like, and I had to set my expectations. I shouldn't have to lower my expectations, but now I do, where it's like, if I can just do one ride, if I can just go get this one snack, I'll be happy. It will have been worth the trip. And I think that that's the type of thing where it's like, you just can't go in with the mindset that you're going to do everything unless you're really going to commit to that. And everyone who's going with you is in that same mindset. It's like, all right, cool. We're buying Lightning Lane. We're spending the money. We're splurging, and we're making it the best day. Because you can do that. But as we're about to get into, that means that you're going to be spending a lot more money.
Yeah. And it's a problem that like only 15% of people are going to have a good day.
Yeah.
And the problem is like, you're like, oh, I want to go get on a ride and go get a pretzel or whatever. It's like even going to the ride. That's like the sucky part, right? Mm-hmm. Waiting in the line is almost not even the problem. It's just like, I got to get all the way over there and bump elbows and strollers.
Once you're in the line, you're safe. It's like, it's like, now I know I'm going to get on my ride eventually, as long as it doesn't break down, which is good,
Yeah. And there's like constant price hikes, a doubling down on Lightning Lane. Like people thought like, oh, maybe Bob Iger won't nickel and dime us, because Genie Plus was around at this time already.
Yeah.
They added,
which did get announced under Iger, but was accelerated under Chapek.
Was it not announced? Was it not around before November 2022?
No. Well, I think it was around, but it was like really like under. Once it was just Chapek and the parks reopened post-COVID, that's when they leaned on it more than beforehand. Because I know they had announced Genie and they had announced these changes. They were already moving in the direction when Chapek was in charge of the parks towards the paid Lightning Lane. That was during his tenure.
Are you talking about the Max?
Yeah, that was already under Chapek, and then he just accelerated it, which is something we're going to get into when talking about Iger and his leadership style, especially pre, the Chapek era and then post.
So, okay, but what I'm saying, like Genie Plus, the paid service, August 2021.
Yeah,
so
there it is.
Like we were like, oh, maybe you'll fix it or whatever. No, now it's like $35 a day, and they release premium, which is.
Well, once you start raking in that money and the rides start paying for themselves, and you can see what guests use the Lightning Lane on, and thus it allows you to take that $35 and divide it by what experiences you went into. So it's not just I got this many people in an hour, so my ride gets budget to get fixed. It's like, this is the thing that people don't think about. They just think of Disney as a singular entity when it is a series of companies and a series of managers running their own divisions and their own lands and everything. And it's all built up in this pyramid of corporate structure. And so that's like actually how things are run and why things are so slow to change, and how even Iger, all the way on the top of this pedestal, can have like, yes, he has an impact, but it is minimal in comparison to what is already happening. This train has already left the station. It is already moving forward. And once a manager, management team, the president of the resort or whatever it is, they're like, man, my budget is, or like my income has increased dramatically since we instituted this service. We're never going to get rid of that. No matter what guest surveys say, no matter what guests go to City Hall to complain about, that's not going to change, because that's the money that is going to go back into your investment and development into the parks, as well as giving you a handsome bonus at the end of the year.
And I think that kind of structure is a problem, because there isn't a corporate synergy. There isn't a team effort, because this was a problem with Sony and PlayStation a little while ago. Every division was completely siloed off from the other, and the company suffered. PlayStation did really well, and now PlayStation is Sony. Like that's everything to them. But when they start working together, you get things like a Spider-Man video game.
Yeah.
Now, it's not because Sony owns video game rights. The game was actually going to go to Xbox. It's that someone at Sony was familiar with all the Spider-Man people at Marvel, right? And they said, "Oh, one of our studios can handle this. Why don't you talk to this guy?" And then they have this relationship, instead of like, "Oh, we need that budget." It's like, no, we need the budget for another movie. Yeah. Instead, it's like, "Oh, hey, let's give some of the budget to the game. The game does really well. And then that feeds back into how much people love Spider-Man. And then we got another movie coming out." And they're doing that with games and movies right now. You have Uncharted, and then you release a little collection of it, and people come back. You have Last of Us going, and there isn't a new Last of Us game, but you go, "Oh, look at this remastered version." Because people were like, "Oh, where's the PS5 version?" They actually don't have one for Twisted Metal right now. I got to watch that. Apparently, it's Peacock's #1 show.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And think of how Microsoft is kind of mismanaged. The reason this matters, everyone, I know a lot of you out there like the Fallout show. There isn't a Fallout game for you. There's Fallout 76, and that game sucks. It's like an always online game. There isn't even a remastered version of like Fallout 3 or New Vegas. Nothing.
That's crazy.
And the second season is going to be about that, is what I've heard. So
it's just purely video game as IP, but yeah.
But so what I mean is, you have like now attractions competing against each other instead of trying to prop up everything. You've told me walk around characters in Avengers Campus come out of the Marvel Studios
marketing
budget. Same with Star Wars, which is crazy. It's crazy that the parks can't just be like, "No, we should do this to make the park better."
Yeah.
To increase,
or that they get that investment from Marvel or Star Wars, Lucasfilm, whatever it is. And then the parks decide to keep paying for it if the guests respond favorably.
Instead, they're like, the marketing beat's over for Moon Knight. And it's like, if you just wheel that guy out every few months,
people will get excited about it.
And people will want to go back, because they're like, I want to see if this guy's going to be there. I want to meet this person. Instead of like, there's Loki and Thor. Those might just be baked into the land.
I mean, that's the thing though, is you do have it from an operations standpoint, the characters that you can't like not have. It's like, I gotta have these, or for story reasons, like Rey and R2D2 and Chewbacca will always be in Galaxy's Edge. Not gonna go anywhere because you always need them. But like having characters like Boba Fett show up is like a rare occurrence, because it's like there's less budget for that, and he has one costume, and so if that costume gets damaged, it's done. It's like that's no more Boba Fett. And it's just interesting to see the way that, again, it's a corporate structure, it's the way it's all run, but it's more of just from a leadership perspective. You have the communication from the Chapek era of profits over everything else. It's like, forget about the guest satisfaction for a second. How much money can we rake in? And you're looking at a division where under Iger during his first tenure, I feel like the parks never made as much money. They were always secondary to the film division. And at the same time, film divisions, here's $1 billion picture, $1 billion picture, $1 billion picture. it's like $500 million in profit, $500 million profit. So they're raking in money in these individual enterprises, and it's this corporate machine. With the parks, it was not always that guaranteed success. They have had plenty of failures under Eisner, and even under Iger's tenure, he's overseen projects that didn't succeed as much as he wished they would, and just depended on who ran the parks division. That's another thing under Iger is during his first tenure, he was very much like a little bit more hands off, a little bit more like let the creatives work, let the people run their businesses, and we'll see how things go. That doesn't mean that people like didn't get let go or, this bad thing happened. So yeah, sorry, we're not going to work with you anymore. We're not going to continue this franchise. But it did mean that he would let those failures happen because overwhelmingly the creatives would make creative decisions. They would write stories that they were actually passionate about. And you would see that on screen or you'd see that in the parks, and it was a success. And so as long as, you're kind of guiding the creative side and kind of pushing that forward and letting them succeed, providing business side guidance when it was needed, that's what made Iger click in his first term. Then you have Chapek, who got rid of that whole structure, put in a whole new division that was all about more corporate management, where you don't get to make creative decisions anymore. We're going to have an executive make those decisions for you, and then you're going to follow through. And that's when the failures started hitting across the board, which sunk the TV and entertainment side. Disney Plus starts floundering, the content's not doing as good. And then you have the experiences side that instituted all of Chapek's all right, we're ramping up Genie Plus, we're ramping up all this stuff to nickel and dime. So the profits go up with the park side, with the experiences side. And that's where we were when Iger came back, of now the parks are bigger than ever. They're raking in, they're saving, because we have the offset of one side of the company is not doing good, so we're doing good.
Yeah, and Disney Plus doing bad, the movies are doing bad, all that. And I think it's a lot of this comes from the mentality of what lever can we pull that which lever does the money come out of?
Yeah.
As opposed to how do we make something good that makes money? Mm-hmm. Because these movies keep failing, and you think of something like Tron. Now, Tron has always kind of been a failure, right?
Yeah.
But it was really bad because it'll be don't really invest in it, but hope that it's the best thing ever.
Mm-hmm.
They overdo Marvel, and they're maybe we'll do a Tomorrowland Fantastic Four, but then everyone's so tired of everything that Fantastic Four does fine, right?
Yeah. It doesn't do the success that would warrant that type of an investment.
And then there's stuff we'll talk about later, but the over almost internal censorship of things, of even LEO and stuff, just creatives do stuff. Any backlash you hear from whiners doesn't mean anything. Boycotts aren't real, and don't work, modern ones at least, right? And they just meddle in everything instead of thinking oh, we're an art company.
Yeah,
we make it's not. It's oh, we're an entertainment company. It's no, make art, and art is entertaining.
Well, and you look at the first thing that happened when Iger came back, and this is part of he went from the ship is running fine, everything's good, and then COVID's approaching, so it was kind of clearly there was signs that things are about to get choppy. I think I'm out. I'm taking my package and I'm leaving. And then when Iger comes back, it's his legacy's been tarnished. Everything's kind of fallen apart on the wayside. And so you have to right the ship. And so one of the first things he announces is less original, creative projects, more sequels, pump out the sequels.
He announced Frozen 4.
Frozen 3, Frozen 4 developed at the same time. Well,
yeah.
Okay, whoa, okay. But it's there are a few individual projects that are still happening. Pixar's a good example of this, where it's for every sequel we're doing something original, so that way we can keep the artists happy because they're so unhappy about pay structures and everything else, which we will talk about later, because that's been a whole tumultuous thing with Disney and Iger. But it's for the most part, here we got to get things back on. We got to stop letting you guys do whatever you want. Iger's going to have to take the more control, and so it's interesting to watch the response on that side, and then also the quality of everything, where it's there's this moment where the lever on quantity just got ramped up all the way, and then everything starts to be garbage. That's the experience of turning on Netflix, for example. And when Disney started becoming that, where you're just like, it's all content, it's just splurge and sludge going straight to Disney Plus. We don't care about it anymore. And that takes a while to go back to normal, to go back to a structure of we care about what we're releasing, which I would say is they're starting to do that now, but it has taken like 2 to 3 years to get there because the production cycle is so long.
Yeah, that's a problem with everything.
It's a huge problem. And the stuff that has the shorter production cycle that has been on budget is the stuff that's actually worked and been good.
Like, I'm looking at Stranger Things, Severance, and who knows with Pluribus. It's like, oh yeah, hey, this thing's doing really well. Anyways, maybe we'll see you in 2 years. Mm-hmm. What is this crap? Like, yeah. It used to be like, oh, this is doing really well. You have, I'm just quoting this from Sacred Symbols right now, but, oh, you have 3 months to write the next season because we're going to start filming because you got to go while the going's good. Because, dude, I know like Stranger Things kind of came back with last season, but I know that when you hear people talk about it, everyone's talking trash about it. It's like, why did it take so long? Why are they so old? Yeah, I enjoyed it, but that one season sucked. These brothers, they're brothers, right?
Yeah.
They don't know what they're doing. They listen to fan feedback before writing. That's not...
You shouldn't be doing that.
No, you should just have a story and tell me the story.
Yeah.
Tell me the story you want to tell. Mm-hmm. And so you just have this with everything. It's just like, just kind of wait and see. What do people feel? Like, make something good and release it. Like, yeah, that's it.
Which is to give Iger his credit, that is one of the things that it's like, to be fair, it's like you do need somebody to be in that room who's telling you to actually tell a good story and to like actually deliver on that, because not every creative project is going to be perfect.
But too many people are in the room at this point. Like, think of Star Wars, man. I heard Andor cost more than the sequel trilogy. What's the whole
sequel
about?
Trilogy? Yeah, because you have to think of every like 2 episodes was like the cost of making a movie.
Yeah, because they're long. They all had sets.
$600 to $800 million to develop Andor as a 2-season TV show is insane. And now you see that money on the screen because they built sets. They actually shot in real locations, and it was really well done. But I'm like, I don't know how that makes business sense.
It's the best thing since Rogue One, which is hilarious.
Yeah,
like I actually really like Mandalorian. It did get like kind of stale at the end, unless you really love what's her face, Bo-Katan. But like, yeah, it's just funny how like that. Sorry, my point in this was, hey, let's do Star Wars with no plan, and then like cut 1,000 things because we don't want to do this. Make sure this guy's on the screen. Make sure we see this person. Make sure you get this actor, but also don't ever put these 3 actors in the same room together. You know, all this like nonsense.
Well, and there was the whole Hunt for Ben Solo conversation that happened.
Yeah, I just heard about this. Yeah.
If you didn't know about it, they actually had a film that was going to be bringing back some of the sequel characters, and it was going to be the Hunt for Ben Solo. You know, it's like, did he really die at the end of the movie, or are we able to bring him back from the Force world, because they've done that with Ahsoka and the cartoons and stuff like that. So it's like they have ways of like doing that story. But it was going to be a way to continue kind of out of episode 9 and kind of patch up some holes and smooth things over and be able to bring back those characters, because similar to the prequels, you're going to give it time. It's been like 10 years since Force Awakens and stuff. Now you're going to have people who grew up watching that who are like, yeah, I liked those movies. I grew up watching them, which is a crazy thing to think about, but that's time. And so that was actually like finished script. I forget the name of the director, but he's like actually really good. And so it was like you had this whole thing all locked in, ready to go. Goes to Iger's desk and he's like, I don't know. I don't see how Ben Solo survives. Let's just make a Mandalorian movie.
Apparently he killed the Hercules musical.
Yes.
He was just like, who would want that? And then they made a whole cruise ship themed after it.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, turns out like everyone. Because Hercules is a great musical. And it's... Here's like
the Hercules musical is in the West End over, and it's still making the rounds.
Like, I mean, to be fair, it's real. DCA.
Yes, that project,
and that would have been slam dunk. And there's like this. Just bear with me for a second, okay? There's this push for diversity,
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, look at how like crazy diverse of a cast we can do for Hercules. It's like, it's right there for you. You don't have to shoehorn it. It's served up to you on a silver platter. You're like, we'll just do Captain America for a month, like, and I'm not saying anything about diversity with Captain America. I'm just like, that's like part of it too, of like, oh, who would want this thing that's a slam dunk from a musical perspective, nostalgia, diversity, just like high quality.
And you're using this giant theatrical space, all this stuff.
And it's so Hollywood. It's not like overly Marvel, whatever.
And then it came down to, but then we have to pay a bunch of actors. And so it was better to have a temporary contract where you did a single show than use a theater for 3 years. Like that's the problem, is that they saw that as, and there were certain parts of management that, we can sell seats. We can sell, hey, $10 and now you can actually sit in the front row or in the front area for the Steve Rogers show.
That wasn't it?
Something like that. I don't know. but it's like, I mean, of course it was $40, but like, instead of doing that, where you're like, okay, we found a way to make revenue from
There's
this.
your
This is gonna
Genie
be
Plus
okay.
argument of like, you paid for the show with the Trumps.
There it is.
Right.
But instead of doing that, it's like, it is like, okay, we have these actors, we got to pay these people. And that's been a continuous issue under Iger's thing. I mean,
since Walt Disney.
Yeah, that's
he
true.
Made
that's a whole
robotic Abraham Lincoln because he didn't want to pay actors.
Yeah, no, I don't want to pay a guy to go out on stage, every 5, every 10
for
minutes.
70 years.
Jesus. But I just think like you could be doing something like that would be lauded and would be praised by the fans and would be loved by audiences, but the risk aversion side is too strong now. So again, like when I was saying about Star Wars, it's like, we have this whole thing, it's all ready to go. And then I was like, no, just make the Mandalorian movie. You already have the idea for the next season. Just shoot that as a movie and we'll put it in theaters. It'll sell. It's like, that's it.
Here's the problem with a lot of this stuff. It's like, you're running a theme park where you built a bunch of theaters and stages.
Yeah.
That's what a theme park is. It has shows. It has musicals. It has actors. It has living things. It has places where you could put 1,000 people for an hour. Like,
yeah, but you know what else you can put 1,000 people in for an hour?
The walkways.
A line.
Yeah.
For a brand new e-ticket ride. Every ride is an e-ticket ride. We're going to sell every attraction as an e-ticket experience. No, get rid of all the showrooms. Wherever you have a stage or whatever it is, get rid of it. We don't need to pay actors.
But
pay minimum wage employees to press a button. The ride goes, and the animatronics are the show. There it is. Yeah. And now that Genie Plus can pay for your rides, you open up a new ride, you charge $30 for one use lightning lane for that ride for every guest who wants to go in that and guarantee a ride on the new Avengers ride. The ride pays for itself within 6 months to a year.
How long do you think the individual lightning lane purchase will last?
For an attraction like Rise of the Resistance, over a decade.
No, I mean Avengers.
Oh, for Avengers?
Because it's gone on Spider-Man. It's gone on Mickey and Minnie.
Yes.
It's gone on the Mickey ride.
Which is crazy. But I also, like, that's a demand thing.
Yeah.
Where, they built that ride and it is like Mickey Minnie's Runaway Railway is an e-ticket. Like, it's a huge giant, it's a giant piece of space and real estate. But it's a popularity thing of just eventually you're just not going to have every person who wants to do that.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, how good is Avengers going to be, you think?
I think, and this is, there's been some conversations if it's under like a 3-month delay right now. I think that there's a reinvestment of we weren't going to have as many animatronics or we weren't going to have as many things. And now we're needing to design extra electrical stuff to handle new show elements that they want to invest in because they can afford to do that right now. But I think it's like, it has to be your next Rise of the Resistance. And that was the problem with the Avengers e-ticket for the last decade since they announced the first version, was that it was always, if it's not as good as Rise, then what's the point? If it's not as good as the last big thing we did, then we kind of fail. And that's why every concept has kind of like gone along the way. Is it a simulator? Is it a trackless? Is it this? Is it that? And then finally they came up with a ride system for Tokyo that was kind of diverse enough that they could put it in any situation. It could be as, smooth and, you're just flying, or as rough as you want to make it. And yet it's still a dark ride and not a simulator. And I think that's kind of like, now at this point, it's just how big is the show? How impressive can you make that show? Can you make it good enough that people are going to say, you did it. You know, you're the next industry standard. That's kind of what they're shooting for. And it's even like all of the, what's his name? Because this is one of the things, is the new head of WDI. Not Tom Fitzgerald. Shoot. I'm gonna look that up. Give me 1 second. But like the new head of WDI, it's like you brought back a guy who put creative at the heart of what they did in terms of like, okay, we're gonna deliver an excellence, we're gonna do this next gen stuff. We're gonna be lining up here. And now that he's back, they might actually do some good work. There it is, Bruce Vaughn. There he is. Okay, yeah, that guy's good. Like, he's going to help take care of things. And he was also reinstated under Josh D'Amaro's leadership, who took over after Chapek. So it's like you are finally starting to get in the right place where beforehand, like even Chapek installed somebody who was mostly just an architect in charge of WDI. And that was okay, but she didn't come with the legacy that WDI was used to fostering. That a lot of, and I would say that for most of Disney, of like, they've had a lot of issues now where it's like people have kind of come in who didn't come out of sort of the homegrown nature of these divisions. That's always good. Sometimes you need change, you need to freshen stuff up.
Like a head of cruises who'd never been on a cruise.
Yeah, that was a huge, like all the cruise ships that they've been spending money on, because cruise ships make money. Like more than anything else, like if anything's going to get cut, yeah, sure, we might cut a ride from a theme park, but we're not cutting back on cruise ships. Cruise ships are the future. That's where we make all the money.
So let's talk about that.
It's crazy.
So we were talking about price hikes. That's where all this started.
Yeah.
So there is a huge focus on wealthy customers.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard the stat somewhere. I believe it's true. So I'm sorry if it's not. But it seems like these days, 50% of spending, all spending, like spending money, comes from the top 10% of earners. So forget the 1%. The 10% are spending 50% of all the money.
Yeah.
So they are like, if half your money comes from 10% of people, like where does the other half come from? Like the next 25, and then the rest of people, they're not spending that much.
You're barely impacting.
Yeah.
It. Yeah.
So
those are the couponers.
Yeah. So you can't blame them, I guess, but it's also just like, well, this is why they're expanding cruises.
Mm-hmm.
Disney Cruise is not cheap, everyone. No. You can get a cheap one.
Yeah.
But we're not talking about you and your girlfriend, you and your wife. This is you and your family.
Yeah.
Like $10,000, right?
Mm-hmm.
For a family 4 or 5?
Well, I would say like, $4,000 or something like that.
For what?
4
like
or $5,000.
The crappy little room?
Yeah, exactly.
But they have the
But that's what most people are going to be able to afford. You're not going to buy the 2 or 3 bedroom villa, and that's where you're going to start getting upwards of, you're looking at $20,000 for a cruise.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. Now, to be fair, you look at Disney's competitors, Royal Caribbean and stuff, they do have premium cruise ship offerings that get up to Disney's level of cost from the get-go. But if you go on a Royal Caribbean cruise, you go on some of these ships, you can get your price up to where Disney is by buying everything that isn't included. It's kind of like the airline model of you can get a cheap room and then you add everything on top, or you can just pay the upfront cost and everything's covered for the most part, except for alcohol. That's the one difference with Disney.
Yeah. And then we've been saying this over and over again. Guest experience is down despite the prices going up. So there are like crazy staffing problems, but I wouldn't call them staffing problems because I don't think Disney sees it as a problem. They go, the park will run with fewer people.
And part of it is actually self-enforced. It's not that they're having problems getting new cast members. They are intentionally decreasing people's scheduling hours.
That's what I meant by this bullet point, where they're not staffing enough people.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy being in a full parking. This is actually dumb on Disney's part. How much do you think a parking cast member is paid per hour?
$22.50.
$22.50. So parking is $40. So if you just get one more car in per hour, you pay for that cast member.
Yeah.
Right? Now, if you get more cars in at a time, so you have more booths and 2 people per booth, it's crazy when there's 1 person per booth just going back and forth.
Yeah.
That's just nonsense. If you have all those booths, man, and the cars are going through, everyone waits with 1 car in front of them. right? That's your ideal. That means you get more people in the park. And then you have all the security staff. You get more people on the tram. More trams, more people coming in, more people buying food, more people buying desserts. If your trip is an hour longer, you're probably going to buy one more thing. You're going to do one more thing. And they're kind of like shooting themselves in the foot where people are like, I'm not going to go because I don't want to deal with parking and security.
Yeah.
Like I used to just roll in and that would encourage an extra trip, you know? And they're just like, we don't need it. But the cost cutting of like, you know, if it's one person per like segment of each land, that's a lot, let's say, right?
Yeah.
But like the parking booths, there's
out of anything to cut. Yeah.
Again, with the lightning lane thing, the parking is paying for the employees with one car. One car pays for their paycheck.
Yeah.
And then the rest is gravy. But you have people spilling out onto the street and you're paying Anaheim PD now. Like,
yeah,
it just, that is the stuff that doesn't make sense. Like the really dumb, obvious, like you could just be like, you can't put more people in Jolly Holiday to cook the food faster. Yeah. Jolly Holiday is just busy, right? Because of the freaking sandwich now. But parking is right there. Like everything is just where can we spend less instead of like, oh, if we spend 20, we'll make 200, you know? Like it really just feels like, I mean, bonuses are based off of cost cutting now. Like dude, the local Kava has a marker board in plain view talking about lessening food waste, but not food waste. Like they didn't even call it food waste. There's another thing. But like not food waste, like throwing it away, giving people too much food.
Yeah, give people less food and then we'll throw away less.
Yeah, and well, no. Like give people less food and you will get a bonus. That's how
Chipotle. That makes more sense.
Chipotle was like that for a while, and that's the new CEO was like, yeah, it was kind of a mistake.
Yeah,
because now like
remember when I don't think she was a CFO. Oh, she might have been a CFO.
Oh, the tightening the belt.
Yeah.
The CFO
oh, man.
under Chapek.
Our guests could afford to lose a few pounds.
Yeah, says Bob Chapek.
Oh my God.
Not to fat shame here. I'm sorry, but like it's just real rich, you know.
Yeah. Spend that same amount of money, but one less chicken finger.
And my argument then was everyone understands prices going up, but when you shrink things. Like I came here for 4 chicken tenders, not 3, right? Whatever the price is, like we'll negotiate on that over time with sales. But no one wants less, right? No one wants a smaller box. Like no one wants a smaller carton. No one wants 5 fewer Whoppers. You know, no one wants the shrunken box of Bunch of Crunch. It already wasn't enough. It's never enough. But yeah, it's that the prices go up and things get worse. That is the problem. That's the problem with many things. And look, if prices go up and you deliver a good product, people pay it. Like people buy iPhones every year, right? iPhones are more expensive than they've ever been. And they've actually increased production for the first time. Like for all the whining people did about like, oh, the new iPhone's ugly. The Pro Max is the #1 selling model. And the regular one, which is 800 now, is #2. So, yeah, they're just doubling down on raising the prices and just making a worse experience. And it's like, is that what you want out of your company? For it to be bad? Like, you do have to focus on shareholders.
Yeah.
But you want to run a company that like people are whining about? I get that the only vote is with your wallet, but like, I don't know. Are we not like human beings who care? I don't know. But with that, there's like dynamic pricing incoming.
Yeah, that announcement was interesting.
So the gist of it is dynamic pricing is they always say it's like, oh, we can offer some people lower costs, right? But really it's if people really want the thing, raise the price. If no one really wants it, lower the price. And that's how planes work. That's how hotels work. If you book a hotel all the way out, the price is usually like, we'll call it like 8 out of 10, right? And then it gets kind of closer where people like when people really start thinking of vacation at that destination,
Yeah.
it goes to 10 out of 10 in terms of the height of the price. But then you get to like 2 months, 1 month before your vacation, they haven't booked all the rooms. And now the price is lower than your 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
And you can actually call and they'll just refund it or lower it for when you book it or when you arrive. And they have to because they know you'll cancel it and book it again, right? Which is why you should always book the cancelable rate. So now they want to do that with tickets of like, oh, you're buying a year out? This is like the prices.
Yeah.
Oh, we announced something, or we found out all these school breaks are at this time, or
we scheduled something,
or the cheerleaders booked a convention.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna raise the price now because everyone's gonna start booking.
Yep.
And then like, oh, people didn't really buy it. Okay, let's just discount it for what's left to sell out.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone's hearing that last part and going, that sounds great. But like 15, like I said, 15%, I'm making up that number, but like 15% of people are getting that price.
Yeah.
Everyone else is getting screwed.
Mm-hmm.
They wanted to do this with Wendy's. Uber does this.
Yeah.
They go crazy with it though, because they just see you log into the app. Too many people are looking, prices go up.
Yeah.
So they want to do this with tickets as if things weren't expensive enough, as if they weren't making enough money. They want to do dynamic pricing. It never helps you because prices never go down.
It's not meant to help the guest. It's meant as another lever to generate revenue. It's 100% that. The only thing I can see from this, if in any positive light, is that those known like discount days where they're like, it's a tier 0 day and here it is. It's like that won't exist anymore. So you won't get those days that are unusually busy when you go on a weekday and it's like absolutely slammed for no reason. Oh, it turns out it was a tier 0 day or something. That won't exist anymore. So like that's the only thing that could possibly like happen that would be interesting because people wouldn't be booking that far in advance. Versus like, you know, yes, you can of course have days where it's like, we weren't quite sold out on this Saturday. So, you know, yeah, it's the day
like,
before, lower the price a little bit.
We were talking about how Disneyland is the most stressful place you can book your day or trip to, right? Now you're going to be doing the plane tickets are cheaper on Tuesdays thing. Like,
yeah.
For Disneyland. And I had the displeasure of standing in the ticket booth line to change Kimmy's name. And I thought it would go a lot quicker than it did. We were in line for like over 30 minutes because the ticket booths are gone. So it's at guest services. I went to guest relations. They're like, oh, that's different. Like you can't scan the thing.
No.
So every like 2.5 minutes, not exaggerating, someone would come up to the 3 cast members at the front of the line. How can we help you? I'm trying to buy a ticket. And like, there are no tickets. Like, what? There are no tickets for today. And because they're like, or some people, what does it mean there's no reservations? And so I would see people like visibly sad. I saw people that seemed like they came from another country.
Yeah.
And be like, what do you mean there's no tickets? That's what we do everywhere else. And on the one hand, it's been 4 years. It's been 4.5 years. On the other hand, a little crazy that this is still the situation.
And that there can't be an exception made or that you can't do that. Now, to be fair, of course, they'll like be able to do that, but it's kind of wild, like en masse to just, what do you mean this? But yeah, there's something, and it's kind of that hard battle of like, as a company, are you forcing everybody to do like 3 or 4 hours of research before showing up at your theme park? Like, is that what you should expect? Or like, is it a thing that you as a consumer should probably be doing some research on the thing that you're going to spend thousands of dollars on? Like, what is it that it's like the company needs to force you to do this? Or is it
these 2 people they're just here to spend $200?
Yeah.
You know, like I know like maybe $250, right?
Yeah.
Maybe they just wanted to go to Disneyland for the day. And I think the other problem with Disneyland, it's on the side of the road.
Yeah.
There's Harbor Boulevard and a Disneyland sign, and you can just walk in, and then you can't walk in. Like, I just say, hang out in downtown Disney. And it was like, yeah, I was of 2 minds. And it's this reservation thing. Because tickets used to only sell out during what I would call Rose Parade week.
Yeah.
Of right after Christmas, people are on vacation. All these families are in for the Rose Parade. It's actually a thing. all the bands and whatever.
Yeah.
And or just on vacation, and they would sell out of tickets and you couldn't walk. But it's kind of like that every day, but also not quite that bad. But I still truly believe it wouldn't be quite as busy if the reservations were gone, because there would be no more obligation to go.
Mm-hmm.
You would have, like, if something didn't require as much planning, it wouldn't be so locked in.
Yeah.
Right? Now there would just be like these crazy busy days, but you're also doing this thing of like, if demand is exceeding supply, you're leaving money on the table.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And it's like, you can't put more people in the park, but then maybe you wouldn't need 7 tiers of tickets.
That's honestly kind of crazy.
Yeah,
just how many
I think it's
there
6.
are. Yeah.
It goes up to 5, but starts at 0.
And that's another thing is like, I guess dynamic pricing will actually be simpler than the existing ticketing system.
If the reservation system was gone, right? Where it's like, imagine it's the night before, it's just open, right? And they go, just drop the price. We need people to come. Because people plan stuff the day before easily. And if people have that mindset of, I can do that, you want spontaneous things.
Mm-hmm.
Because things that are spontaneous don't have that much of a budget.
No.
You just go. You just go and you don't think about how much money you're about to spend,
Mm-hmm.
right? But when you plan out the trip and how many meals you're going to have and whatever, look, all these people are smarter than me, but they also don't care about the same things I care about. And everything is just dollar, 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 dollar. When we've said it forever, if you build it, they will come. You have a great product, you're not going to have a problem selling it.
No.
But they are trying to sell stuff with like new developments, right?
Yeah.
So,
And that's okay. Here's the other side of it. Okay. You've ramped up the profit generation machine. We've been nickel and dimed. I've spent $60 on my multi-pass lightning lane and my individual lightning lane. What am I getting for this?
yeah, and we're getting new lands, kind of, right? Nothing really truly new, except Villain's Land, but we don't even know anything about that right now. We got Avatar announced. I think also in like 2022.
Yeah.
Early 2023.
It was very much Iger gets back and he's excited and here's a bunch of announcements and then some of that is happening.
Like,
it's not.
Yeah, he's like, we're doing Avatar in Disneyland in California. And people are like,
Avatar
what?
experience.
Yeah. And then Jeff and I are like, maybe they'll do a movie thing. And then they say nothing. And then they ask Bob Iger, like, what did you mean? He's like, oh, we're doing it. And then,
well, he announces an Avatar experience, which as far as I was aware and as far as like was kind of like on the forums, is like, it was going to be a walkthrough experience in California Adventure. Like that was it. It was going to be like a, like Star Wars Launch Bay, but for Avatar.
Because they had it in Shanghai?
Yes. Yeah. So it was like already a thing. And they're like, oh yeah, we're going to do this thing. And then it quickly became every news outlet was like Avatar Land announced for Disneyland. And so it's like it kind of blew up, and then it's like, I guess I got to do this thing, and I guess if people are excited about it, okay, all right,
Please listen to Trammin number something.
Yeah,
The Potential of Pandora.
I still can't believe I wasn't on that because I'm like the biggest Avatar.
Well, we
head here.
texted the group. Anyone want to talk about this
And Jeff
tonight?
immediately.
Because it was like tonight, and Jeff's like, I'm angry. I'll be there. And I had known Jeff for like 2 months.
Yeah.
And he just came over.
Still a good episode.
And then he spilled many secrets about the Disneyland expansion. Yeah.
That was the best part.
So go check that out. But here's the thing. We got announced. Everyone was super excited and the art looked crazy. And then they like scaled it back 2 months later. I know it was maybe 5, right?
Now it's gone from this huge open land to very much a small cove that will then just have the
we're gonna have
attached.
a ride that goes into the main walk area with like the boats.
Yeah.
And that part just got removed, right?
I think like the scale of it is no longer that. And it's going to be just huge walls like to try and box you in. At least that's the latest piece of concept
like,
art.
Like Super Mario Land.
Yeah,
or
kind of
Nintendo
like that.
World, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Which, to be fair, because they're building it in Hollywood backlot, like right there next to Harbor Boulevard, you're kind of forced into that.
Yeah, I guess. But like they're also leaving Hollywood Land.
It's
They didn't have to do that.
They didn't have to, but now they're going
They
to.
could have just look.
And the monorail's not getting moved. So that's like, you also have to think that Avatar's like on the other side of the monorail beam. You're not really spilling out unless the monorail's just in a tunnel.
Probably.
Yeah.
But
Something like that.
that.
But anyway, it's like, it is that just expectation setting thing. And afterwards, I will say, like, you now have had Josh Tomorrow do all the announcements afterwards and everything. You don't have Iger do as nearly as much talking about the parks, because it was almost like he went on a tour of Imagineering and then just started talking about the things that he saw that were cool. Like, it was not as well rehearsed and tight as it had previously been.
Yeah. So the thing is, like, why Avatar? Freddie, I know you love Avatar.
Yeah.
I'm not talking trash about Avatar, okay? I know it makes money in the movie theater.
Yeah.
I know it kind of works in Animal Kingdom.
It saved that park.
But that's because it kind of fits there. And also, Florida vacationers are a different market than Disneyland goers.
Yeah.
When you're going to Florida, you're just like, give me everything. I don't care what it is. If I recognize it vaguely, I will go there.
Yeah.
Like, because it's just tons of land. You do whatever you want. Like, Epcot is just like, here's Guardians. All right.
Yeah.
I love Guardians. There's Frozen. Yeah, my kids love Frozen. What else are they throwing in there? It doesn't matter.
I mean, it's the whole thing of these movies make like $2 billion. And so you have already invested all this money, but like the first movie paid for the development of the second two, each one, which has brought in a giant, truckload of cash for the company.
Will it fall off, do you think?
That's the intriguing thing about Fire and Ash, because right now, and this is what it's so interesting watching James Cameron, like, kind of like, I don't know, we'll see how it goes. This is a really bad time for watching movies.
Avatar was huge.
Yeah.
And then it took so long that people were like, it's back.
Yeah.
Maybe I should check it out. But now it's been not very long since a 3-hour movie.
Yes.
That was like good looking.
And I think, okay, so the only thing that I think is in the favor is the general movie going experience for most audiences has been pretty poor. And so,
since people don't shut the hell up in the movie theater.
Yes. Talking about the kid on his iPad during the Wicked for Good screening today.
Wait, what?
There was a kid on their iPad for the entire duration of the trailers. Just like full volume iPad, like kids entertainment. I'm like, what is going on? Please stop before the movie. And luckily they did.
I almost raised my voice in a Chick-fil-A the other day.
That's crazy.
Not like yelled, but I was eating and like I had to get away from work for like a second, right? And I went out to lunch, which I don't do. And I just sat there and I ate a little chicken sandwich. And there was someone behind me. But if I'm in one corner, they're in the diagonal corner opposite on speakerphone. And I think Kimmy calling me saved me. I almost just like peeked my head up and in this volume just said, do we need to be on speakerphone right now? Like, that's it. Like,
yeah.
What's happening? What's happening?
Hey, people's behavior, there was pre-COVID and post-COVID. And the idea of social norms and behavior just ended with COVID. Like common acceptable things. Like, it has just never been the same because everyone got left alone with their own thoughts.
Yeah, I'm always this way. I can always watch on speaker.
Exactly.
So,
that's how I feel now. Is it's just like I'm just like everything's worse from then. Just because we no longer know as a society how to behave. But
movie going experience, Avatar.
Yeah, I think it's because it is a theatrical experience. It is a giant theme park ride for 3 hours. That's how I view it. That's one of the reasons I love it. I'm immersed in this world, fully immersed, 3D. I don't watch normal 3D movies, but it's an Avatar movie. I'm going to watch it in 3D. Went with John. He's the same way. John's like, man, I get sick when I watch 3D. Watched it, and he was like, that was the best. That was the best movie experience I've ever had, which I was like, that's crazy, but okay. I think that outside of, and this is in particular an LA thing of like, we get to go watch 70 millimeter screenings of one battle after another. We get these big Hollywood movies that are, pretty expensive for what they are. And then you get to go watch them in an expensive format. And it's a really great time. And everyone's super well behaved in those screenings because you spent the money and you came out. And
because you're a dork, who cares?
There you exactly.
Like Tron. People cheered a little too much, but that's what happens at.
And that was the best Tron experience we possibly could have had. You go to another screen, it would nearly have been as fun.
I don't think anyone was doing a IMAX 3D double feature.
No.
Where
but that's the thing of Avatar breaks out of that mold, and because something that I didn't watch any other movie this year, but I'll go watch Avatar. I trust that. I trust that experience to be good. And I think that that's one of those things that James Cameron has developed and that Avatar as a brand does have, that a casual moviegoer can say, you know what? Yeah, I'll go watch that. And it's hard because then there's so many other movies that come out this year, and even Marvel used to be that, where people were like, yeah, a Marvel movie. All right, I trust that. Pixar, same thing. Pixar, yeah, you know what? Let's go with the kids to the movie theater. I trust that a Pixar movie is going to be good, that I'm going to be entertained as an adult. And that's just not the case anymore.
And that just leads to we should build theme park.
Yeah. And at least when it comes to Avatar, guaranteed success. You already saw the business in Florida in terms of like the theme park attraction. Flight of Passage, best ride ever at the time when it was released. And so it's every one of these things is an iteration. And then when California Adventure is like, yeah, we need a bunch of indoor stuff because it's just all outdoor. Everything dies when there's weather. Like this theme park needs to balance out Disneyland. You're spending the same amount of money to go to both parks, and one is inherently higher value than the other. You need them to kind of balance out so you can actually see your demand there. And again, a way of doing that is like, all right, well, what's an indoor experience that we can do? What's something that's popular IP wise? Maybe not in, most people think of it as popular, but it is in terms of people being able to go spend money. And I think that's the thing, is it's like, it might not be a public consciousness popular thing, but it's popular in terms of, I trust that. Oh, that's a good time. Let's go do that. I didn't have to think that hard about it. I didn't go there, and I wasn't, even though there's a message, I wasn't preached to. It's like one of those things of like all the negative stuff that people think about Hollywood, especially these days, you don't get with an Avatar movie because it's made by a director who made 90s blockbusters. And when you watch Avatar, it's a 90s blockbuster with modern day VFX. That's what it is. It's cheesy, oorah, space marines fighting aliens.
Still not going to watch it though.
That's all right. But I don't blame you, but I'm going to go have a fun time. John's going to go watch it.
Here's the thing though. You appreciate the world of Avatar, but people don't. That's not why most people go.
No, but I think they go and they're like, it's spectacular. It's like, oh wow, that's big. That's cool. Nice waterfall.
Yeah. Well, speaking of waterfalls, don't go chasing them. But in Magic Kingdom, there's going to be a Cars Land in Frontierland.
Mm-hmm.
It's, what do they call it? Pistol Peak?
Piston Peak.
Piston Peak. Yeah, pistol.
No more pistols anymore. Yeah, actually, no more guns. We got rid of those.
So they also
no more shooting expositions.
Yeah, they also got rid of Rivers of America. Shout out River and James. But too much of everyone's chagrin over there.
Yeah, fan backlash. Yeah,
they have so much land over there, man. They could have not dredged a river.
I think that there's so much land argument doesn't actually hold water because people don't realize that most of that land is not usable. Like do you know
Villain's
the amount of times?
Villain's Land is partially new.
Partially, but it's also pre-developed backstage land that is already segmented off to help with like water table and stuff. So it's already been utilized versus something that's like essentially a concrete slab, which is what Rivers of America is there. So it's the type of thing where people think, well, just go build it off in the middle of the swamp. You're not tying in bedrock there, folks. Like, you're not going to be able to build everything you want. There are certain attractions they've had experience with that had to deal with freaking sinkholes. Like, you can't just develop everywhere. The amount of land research that they've had to do every time they want to do theme park development over there is a nightmare. So like the idea of
it's also the bed they made though.
Yes, but it is that thing of the idea that you have unlimited land is not actually true. And so you are a little bit tied into what you already have existing. Now, if Magic Kingdom was surrounded by a parking lot, that would be a different conversation. Like that was a conversation had around Muppets, which we didn't put it in here, but that leads into another thing of fan backlash where it's like, this is something people care about. That's classic. That's beloved. How are you going to get rid of that? What are you replacing it with? Is that like a deal worth having? And I think for some people it was definitely a no. And for other people, it's like, yeah, I love Monsters Inc. Let's build a roller coaster.
I think the weird thing with the Muppets is that they go back and forth on wanting to make the Muppets a thing.
Yeah.
I know the Muppets are a thing, guys, but like they aren't right now. And they announced like a Sabrina Carpenter special.
Literally, and they're teasing it. They teased it again today.
Just like, we're closing Muppets are getting a roller coaster, but then we had a Muppet Land kind of, and a show that's gone.
Well, and I think eventually you'll get a Muppet Land back because that whole corner is all going to be Muppets eventually.
Oh.
With Rock and Roller Coaster, you have a literal theater right next to it that you can just turn into Muppet Vision.
What's in that theater?
4D. Right now, it is the villains. It is a villains show to tease Villains Land. So it is another temporary. It was the Cars show while they were teasing Cars for Magic Kingdom. Now it's the Villains show teasing villains for Magic Kingdom, and then eventually no show, and then hopefully Muppets if Muppets can get back in the public consciousness. And so that's why it's like you have a lot of Hollywood actors who really want the Muppets back, and they're working hard to make that happen. Freaking Ryan Johnson is like doing the press tour for Knives Out, and he's like, "Man, I'd love to work with the Muppets." Muppets caper, let's do it. But it's like they're beloved within the industry and within the idea of it, and there's plenty of people who are into them. But it's really a question of, can you bring them back quality wise? And they did that with the movies before. Can you bring that back as a show? We'll see. I mean, during the pandemic, you had the Muppets Haunted Mansion. That was pretty good.
That was pretty good.
That's pretty good. Better than the actual Haunted Mansion movie.
Right.
It says something. So like, I don't think Muppets, and that this was part of the reason that they're taking over Rock and Roller Coaster. They're not going away forever. We're not doing that. I think that some of these changes and some of these things when it comes to the parks and Iger's handling of it is mostly like, I'd say it's like, we're going to spend this money. We got to do these things, but there's going to be a little bit of pain. And how you have those conversations around that, how you have conversations around we're closing classic things is very important, because you will rip people's hearts out when you take out their favorite thing.
Yeah. I still think the craziest thing they did was close Bugs Land, because it was shade, it was kids, it was 3 rides and a show. Forget the quality of the rides. Yeah. They were always busy.
Always.
That is important. It is important that there's busy rides that eat crowds and children. We all know what the original plan was going to be, where Avengers Campus was going to go.
Yeah.
And they didn't do it.
Well, now they are. So now it's going to finally get there. And that mishandling is mostly Chapek's blame, but Iger's blame for kind of like sitting back and letting a lot of this mismanagement happen.
Yeah. I'm not like Bugs Land, like I'm not like so precious about it. Like I think I only went on one of those rides ever.
Well, when you have to think of the Web Slingers ride has more capacity than all 3 of those Bugs Land rides did.
But then they could have just built Web Slingers in like stage 17, you know, like
yeah, you could have, and now it's being utilized by, it's going to be utilized by Avatar. In fact, every unused piece of land at California Adventure is now allocated for an attraction.
But then could you have put Avatar behind Bugs Land where they're expanding Adventures Campus, Like
you could have.
That would have been cool.
But instead, they're actually going to spend the money on, they spent the money on Avengers before they did Avatar, which makes sense from a popularity standpoint. If you look at these things as an analytical thing, which is very much like cold and calculated, is much more of what Iger is, than Eisner, where everything was a lot more emotionally charged and a lot more creatively focused. Like, I think that's the thing, is that Iger over time has like lost that creative side and upped his corporate, cold, calculated nature. You'll see that in a lot of different things, including something that I want to bring up, which is the writers and actors strike that we had.
Yeah, he should have not said anything at all.
Well, and there was moments where it's like, there was always during those strikes, there was like the target of the day, target of the week, in terms of like, all right, who are the unions going to be upset at?
Twitter was gone by that point, right?
Well, it's
Twitter, because Twitter's format used to be you got to find
the
bad guy of the day.
Yeah.
And not be that bad guy.
But during this, it was very much that. And so when the eye finally landed on Disney, and it really was Iger's own fault, because he had a comment that was, he was asked about the strike, and he said, "It's very disturbing to me. We've talked about disruptive forces on this business and all the challenges we're facing, the recovery from COVID, which is ongoing. It's not completely back. This is the worst time in the world to add to that disruption. I understand any labor organization's desire to work on behalf of its members to get the most compensation and be compensated fairly based on the value that they deliver. We managed as an industry to negotiate a very good deal with the Directors Guild that reflected this value, because the Directors Guild folded right away. They want to do the same thing with the writers. They just couldn't reach that. Let's see. But yeah, basically he was blaming the artists for being, more disruptive. It's like, hey, writers and actors, like, stop disrupting and messing up with the industry. We're like fragile right now, which, to be fair, it took like 3 years for them to kind of start to recover from COVID's disruptions. And then it has taken another 2 years to recover from the actor strike and writer strike in terms of like the quality of entertainment finally starting to come back.
Yeah. And so with Iger, at the time I said, no one should have expected him to support the strike.
No.
It doesn't make sense for a CEO to support people not working.
Yeah.
Right. So he like put his foot in his mouth because I think Iger has gotten to this point where he thinks of himself as a Walt character, of a Walt Disney character. That's why he narrated the show.
And he thinks of that more now than he did when he was previously CEO.
Yeah. He's like, I'm gonna wear my little cardigan.
Yeah.
And I'm the
Uncle
little
Iger.
Yeah. I'm gonna be a little Uncle Bob over here. And I'm going to narrate the show. So every time you watch it, you hear my voice because I am the Walt Disney Company.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's a stretch. Like he definitely asked to do that.
Yeah.
I think it should have just been Julie Andrews and we just call it a day on that. And you never have to change Julie Andrews. All right. She's not on the list.
And that's the thing is the previous Walt show had Julie Andrews voice it, and it's like made sense. Like it is part of the whole thing of Walt Disney Presents. Like that, like this show, Walt Disney Magical Life, was very much another legacy play from Iger.
Yeah.
It was very much another like Iger wants to prove I have this lineage and connection to Disney, and I am Disney right now, and I have the trust. Like, you can trust me to do this, and thus you can trust me to actually pick who's going to be after me, because clearly I couldn't be trusted the first time. But like in his relationship to entertainment and the industry, it has never been the same after the writers and actors strike. Like he is no longer this like prince in Hollywood as he was before. But I think that was also like the last time any CEO was. Like none of the CEOs in Hollywood right now are popular or necessarily good people. They might be good business people, but they're just not like the creatives are not happy about things. And also that lack of happiness and lack of like creative freedom has led to less good works. Like there are a few examples that like actually break through, like Sinners or One Battle After Another. You're still going to get those auteur art pieces of like, that was a really good experience, a movie. Not a lot of people saw it, but it's like really good.
But those are people who already have the means doing things that they want to do, as opposed to a studio being like, just make another Toy Story.
Yeah. And then it's diminishing returns. Why didn't that do well?
The thing with sequels, which is more of a thing with video games. I know I keep bringing them up, but it's video games are bigger than music, movies, and TV combined, which is money-wise, which is insane. Is you need to have this buy-in for a sequel. Most or many, let's say many people will see a number after something and go, "Oh, I didn't see the one before it." So a sequel usually sells less. That's the expectation.
Yeah.
Now, when you're like 5 deep, I don't know how well you're going to do. Now, Toy Story is different because it's Toy Story.
Yeah.
Right? But you're like Frozen 4. It's like, what are there's other Frozen? I don't know about that. Right? Like,
but those movies were also part of an era where each one did make $1 billion and they did make as well as the previous one. And in the year following that movie being released, anyone who hadn't watched it in theaters had watched it at home and their child had watched it 100 times.
And there were like so few things back in the day.
Yeah.
You used to see it all. Right? Like there was a time you would just go see all the movies that came out and then stuff wasn't coming out for a while.
It used to be that you'd only have like one major film every few weeks, instead of every week is another blockbuster that costs $200 million. That was something I was going to bring up of like the Predator movie that just got released. It's like a sub $100 million movie when it looks like it's $200 million shot. It's doing the same thing that the creator did where they lock in what they've shot. It's like the first time it said, we're going to waste all these VFX artists' hours. You're actually going to remake the movie like 6 or 7 times.
How does that fall?
Strange things are happening here. Stranger Things. But I would say like now that the splurge of content and like it's a sort of like, okay, demand's down and we're like creating too much and things are going to finally start balancing. Hopefully it's like, hopefully we'll get a kind of return to that creative side. And this is coming at the end of Iger's tenure here. So it's really a question of like, what is getting greenlit right now? Because these are the movies that you're going to be watching when Iger's no longer in charge 2 years from now. Like, what are the things getting greenlit? What are the lessons being learned? I mean, you can even look at this past year where it was like Disney live action reboots, done. Stitch gets dropped.
No, Tangled is back. No,
I was about to say. Tangled's cut. Stitch comes out, $1 billion. Tangled's back. It's that same thing. And we still have Moana that was already shot and they started teasing, which is another mess.
They didn't show The Rock's face.
No, because it's not good. It's not going to look good. Oh, it's not going to work. Yeah. I don't know. You know, that's movies for you. Oh goodness. But yeah, speaking of a relationship to entertainment and media, the Jimmy Kimmel situation.
Okay. So let me start with this. All right. So what happened was Jimmy Kimmel made a joke about a reaction to an event that happened.
Yeah.
All right. He didn't make a joke about what happened. He made a joke about the reaction to what happened.
Yeah.
So no matter your opinion or stance on what Jimmy Kimmel said, the government should not infringe on your free speech. That is the First Amendment. The First Amendment is more important than all the other amendments.
Yeah.
Whether it's good speech, neutral, in poor taste, comical, satirical, it's not the government's job to tell you that. And now you're saying, well, the government didn't. No. So the FCC commissioner, right? Yeah. Threatened to block some merger that Disney was trying to go through. Now, we should block mergers. However,
and it had to do also with their rights to actually have content. Like they're like ABC. Yeah, let's just pull you guys.
Yeah.
No more public broadcasting.
Yeah, like pulling licenses, whatever. So the government used a little strong arm to block speech. So, you know, you might be thinking, I don't like the speech, that, whatever. Here's what happens though. Creatives should do what they need to do. And you free market capitalists out there, the market will decide whether what they do is good. So if Jimmy Kimmel says something and everyone hates it and stops watching it, there's your answer.
Yeah.
The government should not get involved. Now, if Disney was just like, you know what? We don't want to produce this type of content anymore. It has nothing to do with anything else. That's a separate thing. Because even though Disney's a business, they're a creative business and someone's the boss, right? But that's not what happened. And I said this back then. You don't really want corporations ruling the world, right?
No.
But the government was overreaching. And this is where, you know, Disney with its big stick could have just been like, whatever, we're doing what we want.
Yeah.
Because Disney is probably going to win that battle. But Bob Iger is just really concerned with, I think he's concerned with conflicting things.
Yeah.
And I think as someone concerned with legacy, his legacy should be, I'm not deciding what his legacy should be. You would think with this Walt Disney persona that he wants to have, this Walt Disney legacy, this like people will remember CEO Bob Iger, right? People are already forgetting Bob Chapek. We're not, because we're crazy people, right? Most people, you show them this, hey, who is that? No one's going to say, was that the CEO of Disney? No one knows, right?
Like bearded Thanos.
Yeah. That was in his like beard era, though.
His beard era was so weird. That was such a weird
Dude,
time.
anytime someone starts getting hate, they grow a beard.
You won't recognize me anymore,
Yeah.
I swear.
It's like, the beard, like Ted Cruz.
No, what was great is he started growing a beard. He showed up on the convention floor, and then the next day they announced God King Thanos for the Avengers ride with a beard.
Oh, yeah.
It looked like him.
Did we? We did something with that.
I think we did.
We did something with that. But
but anyway, it's like he's obsessed with this legacy. And I think the other part is Disney's relationship with politics, which under Chapek suffered. No matter what you believe or how you feel, like inherently Disney was kind of like apolitical to a certain extent. I mean, it's always been a little, sort of attached to sort of traditional American values and family and everything. But as that meaning has changed to different perspectives of people, Disney has kind of gotten torn between different political sides. It's everything in our world everything's now political. Everybody's got to choose a side. You can't be neutral. And so now it's hard to kind of, for a company to balance that act. It's like, you got to be one way or the other, and you're going to get supported by one side or you won't. And when you do that, you're going to leave money on the table.
Yeah. And he's concerned with this legacy. And all he really needed to do was, we are the Walt Disney Company.
Yeah.
And we will do what is magical.
Mm-hmm.
We will do what makes children smile. We will do what makes people laugh. We will do what we want to do as the most magical creative company in the world. That's how they think of themselves. Mm-hmm. Right. And instead it was just like this little like cowardly.
Oh, it was panic.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was like immediately just pulling from it, just respond like we got to stay in the government's good graces here. We can't do this,
And like, this isn't my opinion. This is what happens every time. Anytime there's a controversy, just controversy, if you don't say anything, it's over the next day. But you have to always say nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So if Jimmy Kimmel did this thing, blah, 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 people got angry, and you don't say like, we stand behind or nothing. You just let Jimmy Kimmel just do his next episode the next day.
Yeah.
You move on. And then it's like the bully screaming at you, but you just keep walking. It's like they're usually not going to keep punching you because they go, oh, he doesn't care. Right.
Yeah.
And they just made a whole mess for themselves. They got lucky that the broadcasters screwed themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But they could have just avoided this whole mess by just, they could have talked to Jimmy Kimmel behind the scenes and just been like, hey, look, we're on your side. Let's like just be careful.
Yeah. But instead they were like suspension, like they made it where the people who worked there weren't sure if they were still going to have a job. Instead of just saying, hey, like, let's just chill for a second. It was very much a surgical cut rather than anything else. And it took time for them to actually kind of bring everything back together once they made a decision to actually, like stand on their 2 feet. But that initial cowardly approach, and that does come down from Iger, was definitely not the right thing. And again, hurt relationship with actors and talent, where it's like, I don't want to work for a company that's not going to have my back or not protect me.
Oscar Isaac's been talking crap.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm open to it, but maybe when Disney changes a little bit.
And there were some people who ran with like, he'll never work for Disney again. It's like, no,
well, they asked him about, he got some clarification.
Yeah.
There was some interview when he was sitting in a garden. I don't know what this was.
Yeah.
But so would you do it? And he goes, yeah, when they don't, something like when they don't bow down to fascism or something. Yeah. Like, all right. So,
well, I mean, and then afterwards, Jimmy Kimmel comes back online and has his most popular episodes ever. Like the viewership just spiked to a point that because you had the people who broadcast like ABC, like it's actually other companies. So it's like Disney makes the content, and then another company with local TV puts ABC out there. Mm-hmm. And they were like, yeah, no, we're not going to put Jimmy Kimmel out there. We're going to do something else instead. And the demand for Jimmy Kimmel was so high afterwards, like across the US, that they all folded. So it's like you could clearly see who the right side was here, where it was like free speech won out at the end of the day, and the government lost and Disney lost. Where it's like, even though they still have their content out there and they got viewership from it, in the moral side, they didn't choose wisely. And again, that does fall on Iger, and it's again another thing of just like, again, he's not the Prince of Hollywood he was when he first started, where he was well known. He would show up at every movie premiere, and he had a good relationship with talent. It's just not a thing. But yeah, I think like the entertainment side of the industry, and it's something that we don't talk a lot here on Trammin about, but it's like that's the side that struggles the most right now. That under Iger, it has been rocky at best. They've had their flowers, they've had their moments of success, but they're nowhere near the golden age when Iger had acquired all these companies, and it was releasing all of these movies. Everything was successful. Whether it was good or not was a different debate, but at least it made money.
Yeah, the movie-going experience sucks.
Yeah.
So ticket sales are down, but streaming doesn't really make that much money.
No.
And then they just keep raising the prices on streaming.
Yeah.
Everything's a subscription, and like everyone wants your money every month and people don't want to give it because they're not getting paid more.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have all these companies just being creatively bankrupt and not doing what they want to do, not saying what they want to say, out of fear.
Yeah.
And I want to come back to the free speech one more time, just to reiterate. If someone says something nasty, it's not for the government to meddle in. That's for you to stop watching or stop listening, and for everyone else to do that. And when that happens, that person basically silenced themselves, right? You let people dig their own grave. And if that's what they're going to do, that's what they're going to do. If they don't, then there you go. You have your decision. So yeah, that they shot themselves in the foot there. They just, it was, I forget the word. It's not comedy of errors. It's like some sort of self-inflicted wound. I don't remember what it was. But yeah, he didn't need to do that. And now you just see like Bob Iger being more cowardly, more like, when you want to be this like icon.
Yeah.
You don't want to look like the guy. You want to look like the guy at the king's dinner, not the guy like with his tail between his legs kissing the king's feet. You know, and this isn't about the president right now. Like, I'm saying just like, literally cartoons. I'm not talking about our current government or anyone.
Iger going to Trump and being like, look at Abu Dhabi. Look, I'm doing cool stuff.
I'm not talking about the Tim Cook's gold bar.
Oh my God.
Or whatever. I'm just talking about like, you want to like tread your own path and say like, I am the leader, instead of like, oh no, all these different people are mad at me, so I'm going to do what they want. And you just look weak.
Reactionary.
Yeah. And so it just seems like he doesn't really know what he's doing. And, the company, like I said, is not in shambles, but Bob Iger, like, is concerned with his legacy. And I don't think he can decide what he wants to define his legacy by.
No.
I think half of him says, I want to create value for shareholders. I want to show like my stock price is so high when I exit, and then it keeps going. I want to expand the business, whatever. But then that kind of comes at the cost of the creativity and what people feel about him.
Yeah.
And that's where legacy comes from. Legacy doesn't come from like no regular person, which is what you want to be in the hearts and minds, right?
Mm-hmm.
No regular person is going like, look at how much value Bob Iger created for shareholders. Look at the stock price under Bob Iger. Like, that's not what normal people are thinking about. They would think, look at all these wonderful things that happened while Bob Iger was there.
Yeah.
Right? That's like, if you're concerned with legacy, especially as you get older, it should be more ethereal. You want to say, I left the company in a creative state, making magic for years to come, as opposed to, for a short while, I created a great value in return on investment. Legacies last longer than the next fiscal quarter, but that's all he's always thinking about. And I think he's just doing himself and everyone else a disservice. Because a great leader can convince shareholders of anything they want.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think, speaking of legacy, it's the whole thing of these, whenever there's somebody in charge of a company, however long they're there, they get to see a return on what decisions they've made and the progress that they've developed. And I think Iger's worry and like kind of this reactionary state is that during this second time he's had to try and clean up Chapek's mess, which has taken years to like deal with all the decisions that were made during that time. It's really hard for you to open a ride. It's like it takes you 4 or 5 years to build a new attraction or do the thing. So like under Chapek, it's like, here's Galaxy's Edge and here's what we announced, and then here's what we built in disappointment, all this budget cuts, all tightening the rope on this stuff. That's Chapek. That's his legacy on that side. And then you have like Iger right now, where it's like everything that opens, everything here is like, he didn't necessarily greenlight that. He didn't make that decision. There are things that now he has started to, and you can still see very reactionary, not the highest quality. We're not reaching our target. And that's kind of all the time he has left to be remembered. This isn't him leaving on the high note, having a book launch, talking about leadership skills. Look at my life. Look at all the great things that I've accomplished. Look at all I've learned. And he's getting these last gasps where he gets to announce Disneyland Abu Dhabi and do the exact same. I can do the same pitch as Shanghai, and I'll leave my mark here. But it's
uniquely Abu Dhabi.
Uniquely Abu Dhabi. Yeah.
All right.
But like, you think of, he's announcing these things. Yes, he's greenlighting projects right now, but he's not the one who gets to take credit for it at the end of the day. It's the next person.
I want just a quick correction.
Yeah.
It said uniquely Emirati, which is like the worst trash line. But yeah, he's just left the company in a state where whatever's going, it's too late. Next person's going to pick it up, and whatever happens next is that person is going to take the credit, because everyone's just going to remember Bob Iger came in scrambling and then just continued scrambling until he picked the next person.
Yeah.
Because they keep extending. Does he keep extending his contract? Be like, give me another shot. Give me another shot. I want to end on a high note.
Well, and at least finally he took himself out of making the decision for the CEO. Like he's there for guidance, but it's like he had to take himself out because it's like you failed. You picked the wrong person last time. Like, and part of it was he had opportunities to step down from a CEO and have somebody replace him. And he would always extend. And so then the person who was the clear successor leaves ship, because like, if they work in corporate America, they're like, well, I'm wasting my time here. I'm not going to wait for you to leave. And it's only certain people who have continued to work for the company despite that, like where it's like their promotion into leadership is not their number one goal. It's like, no, I just want to make whatever I'm working on, I want to make the best thing that it can possibly be.
Like, I don't think Josh D'Amaro ever wants to work for another company.
No.
I think he loves his job. I think he loves saying he works for Disney and loves working for Disney.
Loves the association, loves the reaction he gets from people.
For now, seems like type of guy who thinks he has enough money, where he'll take more, but it's not like, Hewlett Packard's going to give me 10 more million. It's like
he's not worried about his golden parachute or his pay packages. Like, that's not his number one concern.
Yeah, I don't know if Josh D'Amaro wants a yacht.
Yeah,
I think he's just like, they'll just put me in first class anywhere I want to go. Why do I need a yacht? Does Disney have a plane?
I don't think so. I think they just do private charters.
Yeah, I guess why would you buy the plane?
Why would you buy the plane when you can just rent one? Like, I don't know.
So just bring it around. Anyways, so the homie Josh or Dana Waldron, are in the what we think is a success.
So the speculation. So originally there was a bunch of horses in the race, but the reality is there were only ever two, and it's Dana Waldron in charge of the Disney entertainment side, mostly out of TV and Disney Plus. For movies, I don't think they just have ever had a front runner, and they've also been like floundering. So you just have that side of the company that's just it's aimless. It's like there's no clear winner here, and there's a lack of passion on the leadership side. There's no personality when you look at entertainment. Like, there's not somebody who comes up on stage.
Oh, it's Walden.
Walden. Okay.
So I was like, why is this person not coming up? Okay.
But it's the type of thing where you're like, okay, like, where is that? Where's that person that is the clear leader here? And then you look over on the entertainment, on the experiences side, with the parks, with everything, with even under Josh D'Amaro expanding into video games and sort of technology spaces in a much clearer way than Disney ever has previously. It's like it's been under D'Amaro where that's been the focus. And that's a clear pull to like shareholders and the board, where it's like, that's our guy. That's the guy who's going to make the right decisions. And his is the division that's making the money, which, again, you can say is like a legacy of Chapek, of like, we figured out how to really crank in the screws and pull in cash. But D'Amaro's got a nice smiling face. So he's kind of he will keep people happy for the most part, despite that. And I think D'Amaro's ability to handle bad PR, to handle moments where you let go of a bunch of cast members and he's the guy in charge, even though that wasn't his decision, his ability to handle that and the ability to kind of keep on going. It's not like he like lost that job. He kept on trucking. He kept his head down, The
thing with him, though, is I think people give him too much credit with like good things.
Yeah.
I mean, he's the lightning lane guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's the head of parks. All that he signs.
He signs off on all that.
Any parks decision you don't like he was talking about how Chapek didn't let him do what he wanted.
Yeah.
Now Chapek's gone.
Mm-hmm.
So is all this happening because this is what Josh D'Amaro wanted to do?
Yeah.
Now, I'm sure Iger sticks his little fingers and everything, right? But from what we could tell, him and Iger are cool.
Yes.
So this is a joint effort.
And another like legacy, figuring out who's going to be in charge. It's like, who's showing up at all the events with Iger?
I don't know who Dana Walden is.
She's done a few, but really it's been Josh D'Amaro that has been like showing up at media things, showing up at the movie side stuff, going with Iger to different CEO conferences, because he's clearly the play, even though they're not like saying it out loud. It's like that, like he's the internal candidate, unless they hire somebody from outside and Eisner style.
It seems like Ken Potrock is primed to take over parks, right? Because he's like a side president of parks.
He's a side president, but he's now doing like all the events. So it's like he's supposed to oversee the America 250 events for all of the parks globally, or for the US ones. So it's like, I don't know if that means that he's the clear person, but he probably is, because he's like most senior most, or like has the most authority, I guess, outside of D'Amaro right now. I don't know. That's an interesting one. But I think it's just the type of thing where it's like you're running the most successful side. So there you go. But also you've succeeded in not having as many screw ups from a very clear public perspective. As you can say, it's like, yeah, but you are to blame for the way that people feel about the parks right now, how frustrating the experience is. And that's a thing that has been perpetuated for years now. It's not like you've had a response to it. I think that's one of the things. It's like their response is, hey, but we are announcing like 14, 20, like billions of dollars in development. And I do think that it's like, yeah, we're kind of going through a bad time right now. Can you open enough new things to do that it spreads out that demand and that the experiencing gets better? I don't know. I don't know yet. We're not living in that world where all that stuff's open.
I'm surprised they haven't tried to open another U.S. park. I think a middle America, whether it's Texas or, well, you can't do the Midwest, too cold. It snows. That's
the problem.
Yeah. I know Texas goes back and forth on being terrible to companies, right?
Yeah.
But if you get a long-term deal in place, right? Like,
I think that the number one thing is that they're viewing it as like, yeah, but we can just have people like take a 2-hour flight or an hour-and-a-half flight, and here they are in Florida.
But I think it's like a lot of the Florida people are from north of Florida, right? Mm-hmm. I honestly think they're gun shy about opening up their own park, right? They haven't opened a new park, right?
They're not.
The Walt Disney Company has not opened and operated a new theme park since Animal Kingdom.
So technically Shanghai, because they're a co-owner in it.
Yeah, but like the Chinese government and all that kind of crap.
Yeah, but like I would say part of it is that, yes, they've been doing that, but it's also like, again, it's a sign of the park division doing well. Like that the park division hasn't been doing this well since the 90s, when you had like all of the Disney Decade stuff that then abruptly ended with Disneyland Paris. And everything between Disneyland Paris and now has been like incremental. Okay, we have the budget to fix our problems, but we're not really going up yet. And it's taken this long to get to that point where it's like, oh, now it's just like, it's like infinite money. It's like now everything pays for itself. So now you can really rapidly expand. And everything has been focused overseas on, like, again, they built Hong Kong, they built, these different places. We're fixing the Paris park. We're doing this and that. But now finally it's becoming domestic, where like you're going to actually invest money in Florida. You're going to invest money in Disneyland and make it the true resort that you wanted it to begin with. And at the same time, you have like Abu Dhabi going on, where you're going to have all that development, all your R&D paid for by another thing, because it's a shrewd business deal. And I do think that's a smart one.
I think they only did. I don't think they went to Abu Dhabi. I think Abu Dhabi went to Disney.
They definitely did. They definitely like Abu Dhabi definitely went to Disney.
It was like, here's money. build a theme park, and they're like, all right.
That's what Tokyo did. That's what the Oriental
Yeah, but
Land
that was
Company
like that was like a more passionate time in the Disney company, right? Because they were afraid of expanding.
Yeah.
And
if it was all about the money, then they would be doing it in Saudi Arabia instead. Because Saudi Arabia legitimately went to Iger and like toured him around. It was like, please build here, build right next to that, where we were going to build the Six Flags park, and now they're doing Six Flags because they couldn't get Disney.
Because Saudi Arabia did 9/11.
Yeah.
That's not the first time it's come up on Trammin. They literally did.
Yep.
So, yeah. So,
but again, all of that is like, yeah, even though Iger was there to announce it, it's like he's not going to be there when Abu Dhabi opens. It's going to be tomorrow. It's going to be, whoever the next CEO is. And if it's tomorrow, it's like, I oversaw this whole project from start to
maybe
finish.
they're like, can't be Dana Walden because they won't let her in Abu Dhabi.
Yeah, can't handle a woman CEO, I guess.
No, they won't shake her hand. They can't.
Jeez.
They're not allowed to touch.
That's crazy. That's crazy to think about, but it's
yeah.
So and there was rumor for a while that they'd do co-CEOs where you'd have somebody.
Never works. Never.
It never does.
Works. It never. It's like, oh, co-CEO. Who's the boss?
Yeah.
Who's the boss? What?
It only would
what's
work.
Her name? The Office.
I'm not remembering the episode.
When Saber came in.
Yes.
What was her name?
Oh gosh.
It was Kathy Bates. But
yes. From Florida.
Hold on. The Florida is helping.
Anna's gonna be so mad.
Kathy Bates Office. Yeah. I know that's her name. Kathy Bates. Come on, Office.
I'm sorry, Anna. I can quote it along with you.
She's screaming.
Yeah.
Kathy Bates.
We were literally watching this.
Office character. Dude, okay, not that I want Gemini, but Gemini has not popped up. So I'm like, where are you when I need you?
The moment where I need you to not hallucinate. Joe Bennett. Okay, there it is. Yeah.
So, because the reason this all matters, because Michael and Jim were co-branch managers. And she said, which one of you is in charge? That doesn't work. And it needs to be one of you.
Yep.
And it's because it's true. Somebody needs to be the boss.
Yep.
Because the buck has to stop with someone. You can't do co-CEOs. This is what executive vice presidents are for.
Yep.
I could see them giving Dana Walden that.
Yeah.
I could see them giving her nothing because her division sucks.
That's the whole thing. That's what it comes down to, in my opinion, is I'm like, you guys aren't making good decisions and nothing's working for you right now outside of a few projects that you've actually left alone. I don't know. I just, and then I look on the park side, you're just like, yes, there's a few things that fans are maybe upset about, but the general public is very excited. The parks, the idea of going to a theme park is more popular than it ever has been. The market, like there was a time where they were like, this is as big as it can get. We can't get any bigger. And now you're like, you know what? Maybe they are. Universal's going to build a fifth park. They already have the area. They're already starting to do some of the groundwork. Like you just opened Epic Universe and you're already starting to look at the next park within the next decade. Crazy.
In Orlando?
Yeah. And Disney is starting to have to debate of what they're going to do next too.
Third gate. Oh,
yeah.
I think if there wasn't red tape, I think they would just do it. Then you get your resort, dude.
But it's part of it too. And this is kind of a sidetrack, but like, okay, now it's getting to a point where like the city of Anaheim is in cahoots with Disney, as legally as they can now, because they got a little too close. And now it's like, all right, we're back here. But because OC Vibe exists, the investment in making the overall resort is higher than it's ever been before, because the ownership of the Ducks and all that stuff, and it's just the freaking Angels. They just got to sell, and then it'll be a part of this game too. But since they're actually going to build a Skyliner, like the city is like going to build the physical transportation that binds it all together. It's like, that's how you're going to get to the third gate entrance where Toy Story Lot is. And it's like that whole thing, that whole conversation of Toy Story Lot being another shopping and dining district with a hotel is completely defeated by the existence of OC Vibe. And you can see through the smoke screen this is your third gate. It's just a question of your timing. And at least they're smart enough to know California Adventure needed to be fixed first. Yeah,
because if you go third gate, the parks that we have, They need to fix Hollywoodland, and you can fix Tomorrowland. Like they'll figure that out. But
I'm getting more discouraged because I was just listening. I forget the name of the history podcast, but Iger invited them from the UK to come out here and do an interview and take them to Disneyland. There was a series, I posted it in the Discord a while ago, but there's an interview with Iger, and there's a moment where they talk to him about Tomorrowland, and he's like, "Yeah, I just don't think it's possible to do the future anymore." It's like it's really hard to tell those stories. I don't think it's like I don't think
what I mean is they're going to. They will eventually just do something with it.
They will have to commit. Yeah.
I think they will eventually tear it down and just do something, right? Whatever.
That's not happening under Iger, though. I'll tell you what.
I don't think he's got the capacity for that right now. But what I'm saying is like they don't need to really expand the parks after they finish the Avatar thing, right? Because they're expanding out. They're doing the new entrance. Like that's it. We've completed the resort. Downtown Disney's gonna get as big as it's gonna get because you're gonna need some parking, right? You're getting your Earl sandwich, you're getting your barbecue. The ticket booths are going away. The Esplanad's gonna be wide open. You're getting your Portos. Yeah. So, when you do all that, and if you are gonna do a third thing, you want to only do the third thing.
Yep.
You don't want to try. You don't want to have a construction crew building Pandora.
No.
Is Way of Water on Pandora?
Yeah.
I don't know, dude.
Yeah.
Same planet.
That's so the whole thing is it's like, but it's a whole planet. So like in the first movie, it's just like jungle and foliage was the big advanced, thing. And then they teased in Pandora in the park, the world of water. They teased going to the oceans of Pandora, and then they made a whole movie about it. And now they're like, now we're doing the fire people, and we're gonna do Return of the King, but on an alien planet. It's like,
so they did Earth, Water, Fire. So this is Avatar.
Oh, it's absolutely Avatar. Yeah.
Last Airbender.
Yeah. just makes more money than Last Airbender. There you go.
Yeah. Maybe this summer everything will change when the Fire Nation attacks. Or this winter, sorry. Okay, so so we can't start talking about third gate stuff.
No. Not yet.
Yeah.
That'll be a whole other thing that we'll talk about.
Yeah.
And we'll get there.
Right now, for some reason, everyone wants to go to theme parks.
Mm-hmm. They don't want to go to the movies. They want to go to the theme parks.
I don't know what changed.
Yeah.
I think it's taking pictures of things and eating things.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's a majority of the thing.
And that's a huge post-COVID thing, too. Like, as much as that was a local thing pre-COVID, I feel like post-COVID, it was like everyone.
Food. Yeah. Food and pictures of food and videos of food.
And experience, like going out in general, like every place, going to your downtown, going to restaurants and bars. It's all experiences now.
That and blind bags.
Have you been in the Storyland store since it became the blind bag store?
Rain brought it up.
It's crazy.
They do still have clothes on the back wall.
Yes, they do.
Except the shelves are just crap.
Yeah. They needed it to be the Gachima machines from Tokyo. That's what they needed. It was the last step. They're so close.
Yeah, I think we're just so over those. We used to have them,
Yeah, but it's the nostalgia that's brought it back. And because that store is the Tokyo store, boom.
Yeah. I realized something, why Tokyo merch is so expensive. Disney Experiences doesn't make that stuff.
No.
Tokyo does.
Yeah.
Because Kimmy was like, look at that person in their long tag on the ears. And she was wearing ears from Tokyo. And it just had like this little thing that said Tokyo Disney. And I'm like, oh, the Disney Parks stuff says Disney Parks and has everything in every language of every Disney park. Whereas this is just like Tokyo Disneyland.
Yep.
Which is like so clean.
Well, it's the same if it's franchised. But then you see how long it's taken for them to finally get the beanies from Tokyo. And now they're at every Disney park.
Oh, yeah.
Because now Disney Parks is like, oh, now we're going to do that too.
Yeah. But so Bob Iger.
You had your run, man. You had your one chance.
Yeah, we jinxed it, man. We said thanks be to Bob. What an insane thing to say.
And it's the good times. It's you always remember the good times.
Yeah, but you don't remember how they hurt you.
No.
You don't remember all the seeds they planted to ruin your life later on.
It's just this sort of complicated thing of like, was Iger ever that great? I don't know.
Or were there just not a billion people at the theme park, so we just didn't notice all the crap?
Yeah.
Like we were going there with Max Pass, but it was a cool perk.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it was also $100 for a year.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. And I think it's complicated. It's not all bad. It's like it's also somebody's gonna have to be the bad guy. Somebody's gonna have to make that decision of how do I manage that much demand hitting you at once.
This is the thing that like I was talking to my dad about because I was telling him about Disney's busy. You would think when things get too expensive, people stop going, but they just never. They don't stop coming and they don't stop coming, dude.
Yeah.
It just
doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how expensive things are. People don't. Yeah. Oh, did I say this last week? I think I said the people going are putting it on their credit card. I might have just said this to my dad last week. They put it on their credit card and they go, like, there was some guy going around Disney World. I'm like, how much debt do you have? And they're like, $45,000. I'm like, I don't understand that. I don't understand that with someone at Disney, right? It's not medical debt. Like there's just like, I just have this on my credit card. This is what these people were saying, right? This isn't like these crazy life situations. I always have to say I get like my place of privilege and yada, 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 right? But it's like, yeah, like bought a car for 90 grand, 8% interest or whatever. And it's like, you shouldn't have done that. You should buy a Honda Civic. That's all I ever tell people. Like, but the point is like the people who you think you would price out, the people who don't have money, quote unquote, are the ones just throwing it on a credit card with all caution to the wind. I think Reddit is not the real world, but there aren't really places where people talk about Disneyland, right?
Yeah.
And it's all the middle class people who go like, I can't really afford this anymore, so I'm going to stop going. But like the middle class is small, and the middle class is like what Disney used to be, and now it's the wealthy and the people who are just going to finance it on Klarna or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
Like is that coming?
It's a huge part of it, yeah.
No. Are they doing the Disney ticket paying for?
Oh God, no. I hope not. But like, I meant to talk about this with the dynamic pricing. You're still going to end up with those ticket deals with the freaking 3-day park hoppers, like at the super discounted thing.
That I just don't understand anymore.
Honestly, I don't understand buying a Magic Key when you have a deal like that. Do that. Go to one of the park takeover events. There's your value.
Park takeover events?
The After Darks. Sorry.
Oh, right. Yeah. All right. I was like the Woody Show.
But like that, the Woody Show. You have the end. Constantly go to those. But it's just the thing of like, the Magic Key is clearly not what the money is anymore. Like, don't do that. If you have the wealth to do that, if you have the privilege to do that, great. But do not feel the need to do that. And I understand I need to be at the parks every day type of a mentality, or I got to go once a week. You know, you're used to that. But like, there is something about make it special. Make it that one moment. Go there, invest the time. You know you're going to spend the money, but like make that one day something special instead of going 30 times and being disappointed all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, that might be where I'm at.
Yeah. And I think that's not a wrong thing to do. Like they're doing ticket deals year round now. Yeah,
there's a ticket deal for everything and After Dark for everything. I think the only thing there's no deal for is Halloween through Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as Halloween hits, that's it. You got to go to Oogie Boogie and whatever. But yeah, I think
if you really want to go, you can make that, again, you can still make that idea. You can buy a multi-day ticket. You can do something like that and figure out, okay, here's my time during the season where I'm going to go and cut out some time to go to the parks.
Yeah. So yeah, Bob Iger is, I think he's in his lame duck presidency.
Oh, absolutely.
I think he's just biding his time until he could. I don't think he's even actively trying to save himself.
No.
I think it's just like, you know what? I'm going to make sure the next person can do it. What can he do anymore?
Mm-hmm.
Right? They're not making any drastic changes. Disney's not a drastic change company. I think you're just like, all right, I'll just pull some levers and unfold the parachute once again.
And off he goes.
Yeah. So that is our Big Thunder topic of the week.
If this is your final stop,
thanks for traveling with us today. And if not, it's time for We Have It So Good.
Oh, yes, we do.
where we in the Tram Fam talk about what makes our Disney trips so special. Send us your highlight of the trip, something new you tried, or a food review at trammin.com/ask. Or I guess we do have the Discord channel. We have it so good. Where Karen S. wrote in. My past trip to Anaheim was divided between two venues, Open Stitch by day and Disneyland by night. This went well for me since I was going for the nighttime spectacular. She's a champion of the nighttime spectaculars. Yep, since I dessert partied most nights, it's all about the sight lines. World of Color is still a winner in my book. Not all just desserts anymore. Half charcuterie, half dessert has balanced the plate for the better. The view is as expansive as the bay. I do budget for this show. World of Color is rarely canceled since it can play in most weather. That they will refund, right? Because you pay during you don't get the food beforehand. With the
with the dessert party, you do get the food.
You get the food with it. Where the Phantasmic dinner package is like, no, you ate dinner. You didn't get the show. Okay. Let's see. New to me was the Docking Bay 7 food and cargo nighttime gathering. I saw it on a fireworks night, and it's repeatable in my opinion, but is it worth the price? When you compare it to the free space square below the Falcon, where you're looking up at the spires for Shadows of Memory of Skywalker Saga and the instrumental Fire of the Rising Moon's fireworks display just beyond, the projections are crisp with a solid arc overview. The instrumentals time perfectly with the fireworks. I get goosebumps just thinking about both. Yes, the free space is a perfect choice to see both. The upgrade can be a worthwhile option if you want to be a little closer. The space for the gathering is on an outcrop just beyond Docking Bay 7's doors. You're on the second level with the top of the Falcon for the show. This space is standing room just as the free space is. Since both the spire projections and fireworks are still above you, the view is closer but not much different. My meal that was included had a Middle Eastern inspiration in a Japanese-style bento box. Keep an eye on the time. Depending on show times, the kitchen may close before the final show. In that case, you must eat before the shows. Would I do the gathering again? Yes. Would I purposely budget for it? No. It's not uncommon for fireworks to be canceled at the last moment, so you had a nice meal, but only half a show.
Yeah.
But the next part, Paint the Night, is always a winner. The meal option viewing area is in the hub. I have faced the train station on some visits and the Opera House on others. That's not the hub. It's the flagpole area.
Yeah, it's the town square.
Town square. Yeah. The hub is
the middle.
Yeah.
The Walt statue.
But that's VIP and recovery, right?
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Jeff. So let's see. Sorry. Okay. Is the meal option a must? No. The parade route is long enough to accommodate most who want to see it for free. Will I pay for it in the future? Yes. It's nice to know I'm guaranteed a good spot on a very busy day.
And you don't have to deal with cast members telling you, sorry, you can't sit here right now, or you can't save space for other people.
Yeah.
It's not fun.
You can always hold space. So, what was the full line? It wasn't hold space for defying gravity. It was holding space for the
goodness
lyrics.
I
don't know. That's how bad.
Yeah, something like that.
All right. Sorry, I ruined it.
Holding space.
Lastly, I wish to discuss the premium dining package at Riverbell Terrace. This is complicated. I'm glad I scored this package, but it does sell out quickly, and I've yet to see it opened for a single traveler.
Wow.
They are selling tabletops here. I know it's easy for foodies to scoff at Riverbell offerings, but it is comforting to a traditional American eater. My meal was hot and good, but not memorable. Sightlines are even more tricky. The nice and level terrace is a premium location for Phantasmic if you are along the railings. So this is, the premium dining package is for the first showing, late dinner, and you stay outside at Riverbell.
Yeah.
Okay. If you're towards the back, you must stand to see the show. World of Color seating is closer to a theater-style seating. Phantasmic, the show, is my least favorite. I feel like it's a character convention in search of a story. Would I dig deep into my pockets for this again? No. No regrets this time, but I don't see a future time. I have not been to the Tomorrowland Terrace for the nighttime spectacular option. If I'm to believe the internet, the Matterhorn projector is supposed to be upgraded. Maybe that is the time to go. I'd love to hear the Tram Fam's thoughts. Bublina, Looking forward to my next order. What a sign off.
Wow.
Shout out.
Thanks, Karen.
Yeah, sounds like a fun trip. Yeah, so would you say this is more of a problem with modern Fantasmic?
Yeah, because now that you've lost the spectacle aspect of Fantasmic,
It's like truck them out.
I don't know. I have no interest. I have no interest anymore.
Yeah.
And it's sad because there's so much nostalgia for it.
I think the original, not original, the version before this one, before the upgrades, was more classic Disney. But now they added Rapunzel and stuff, which is not a bad thing, but you're mixing.
And I think is it, and this is the whole thing of like, is it time for Fantasmic to go away? And it's like, they're always going to keep it because it makes money. But it's really like a question of, can you reinvent the show again? Can we do Fantasmic 3.0 and like actually bring some of the spectacle back? Maybe if you can't do the animatronic dragon, can you do something else? Can you do Chernabog? Can you do oh goodness, the villain from Moana? Like, can you do something?
Yeah, he's so good that its name is the villain from Moana.
I can't remember it. Taka. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
But like,
I only know that because of the Lorcana card.
I was gonna say Lorcana is the only thing it's good for. Oh, finally, I can remember the name of Disney characters that I've forgotten.
Reinventing Fantasmic.
But like, okay, so for the Hercules show that's on the Disney Destiny, the new cruise ship, they have the big walk around figures that they experimented with the Hulk.
Oh.
But like, it's the Titans
yeah.
as like giant puppets. Like when that, like bring out the giant puppets.
Yeah. You can't see their faces because they're kind of far away.
Put those on the stage.
Yeah.
On the island. Like that would be cool.
Yeah, but so would an animatronic dragon.
Yes.
Just do it.
I don't know.
Just do it.
New Dragon Man? Are they really going to do it after everything?
Dude, no way it costs as much as like the Navi.
I don't even know if it's the cost anymore. I think it's maybe just the association with the thing catching fire. I don't know what the fear is. There's too much fear.
I think they got one more strike. I think it can catch on fire one more time before they. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They got like, it's not going to catch on fire again.
And at this point, even if it's steam and like doing a whole thing and then you like you can still do that and it would be fine. But like, I need the impressiveness. I need the scale. You need a true finale and you need to still be launching the freaking fireworks.
Yeah, what's going on?
That's the other problem is there's no fireworks anymore.
What's dumb is it's not even the expensive fireworks. It doesn't go that
like the little
high.
Flares. And
Yeah,
everything.
like
Now, I can also see that because that stopped around the exact same time as the tariff situation.
Jesus Christ.
We don't need to get into that, but I'm just saying
But they're
that
still
like,
doing all the other fireworks.
but maybe it's a question of where can we cut, trim the belt, trim the fat. And then at that
Mickey's Mixed Magic coming back.
jeez.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
It's dumb because now it's a paid for show and you're like, oh, half of it's just gone. I'll
never watch Fantasmic again. Like I just have no interest. I'm just gonna walk by it and I'm gonna be like da, 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 da. And that's it. That was the only part.
Like
That's all I needed.
These nights don't exist anymore. If there was a night where it was just empty and you could stand there, would you?
If it was that empty,
Like you're just like you just
walk
walk up and no one's in front of you. You're just like
front of the railing. Maybe for Peter Pan.
If you had a pretzel,
maybe for a moment.
if you had a pretzel in your hand.
Now you're starting to convince me.
Yeah. I did that pre-COVID with a bag of beignets. I'm like, there was just an open spot. I'm like, I'm just gonna eat these beignets while watching Fantasmic instead of getting them all over me walking around.
You still get the riverboat going by in the finale.
It's so
there.
good.
It's still a good moment. Is it a complete shambles mess? Not yet, but it's sad still.
Yeah, this is where this whole Bob Iger thing is coming in. The slow erosion of you caring is not good because when you slowly stop caring, you don't really go back.
No.
When you get burned, you eventually get over it.
Yeah.
But when you're just like, dude, I'm like, the passion is slowly fading for me.
You know what's crazy?
I want to know how you're feeling.
Okay, so I think I haven't been back to the parks in like 2 months.
Really?
Like an honest going back and like having a good time doing a Disney day.
Well, when
doing something like that.
You've been inside the park.
I don't remember the last time I did.
Because you used to just
all the time, like once a week, I just pop in.
Yeah,
but I haven't been. Like that's the thing is it's like, and now Anna and I we can go in whenever we'd like.
Yeah, I was waiting for you to say it. Like Freddie doesn't pay to go into the park.
Yeah, not at the moment. So it's like I could go whenever I want, but I have so little interest in it because it's so crowded.
Yeah,
because it's like I think the last time we went, we were gonna try and do Haunted Mansion Holiday. Still haven't done that. It's too long. Every time we go in, too long. The last time that we did go, it was like a little morning pop in. And it was like every ride was like 10, 15 minutes for like a good hour and a half, 2 hours. And so it was like just pop in here, pop in there, pop in there. Okay, now everything's 45 minutes. We're out. We're gone.
Yeah.
We're good.
Yeah.
And I think that's part of it is it's just like, unless I commit to like, we're going to go do Lightning Lane and we're going to do a bunch of rides, then it's like, all right, we're just coming to go have dinner and do this. And then it's like, but do I really want to spend that much on dinner? I could go somewhere else. It'd be a little cheaper. Maybe the food would be better. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's hard. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's why I'm excited about December 5th.
Yeah.
Because that's the whole thing. It's like, oh man, I'm going to go hang out with a bunch of, like-minded people who are going to have a good time. We're going to eat a bunch of food. We're going to ride some rides together. Like what's not to like there,
Yeah. It's going to drink too much probably.
Yeah. But,
Yeah.
But when you make that a one-day event, like I think that's just the value. And I think that probably 30-40% of the people going to the parks right now, who are those people who are going multiple times a month or, something like that. It's like, I don't know if your return on investment is as good as it used to be.
The only place it's good is parking because it's $40 now. That's a lot of money.
Jeez.
And I think the lower tiers don't even realize they get the 25% off because it's Toy Story.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's such a caveated asterisk that they're just like, whatever, man.
Yeah.
Although now that's $10.
Well, that's also why there's a lot of people who do the short pop-ins to downtown Disney, and then you get validated.
Yeah.
Get your little 6 hour, your 5.5 hour jaunt into the parks.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think I'm ever there that long.
See, there you go.
Yeah.
That works for some
Something to
people.
think about. But I was there on Saturday.
Yeah.
So my highlights were like the whole trip because it was like so few things.
Mm-hmm.
So we walked in at 3. It's when the parade starts, but it took like 18 minutes to come down Main Street. Kimmy got a spot at the train station. So I'm recommending that to people.
Yeah.
If you're going for the 3 o'clock, because this is the only information I've confirmed. If you're there at 3 o'clock, go up to the train station. You'll get a spot. There's a reserve spot that you can't stand in, but there's even a bench if you get there early enough. But you stand there for 15 minutes and nothing happens. Maybe 18 minutes. The parade comes. It's like a 30-minute parade.
Yeah.
It's a long parade. It's the Christmas fantasy. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
So wait, Karen said paint the night. Is that still going on? Or she was just talking about?
I think she was just talking about
paint
the package. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think Paint the Night's postponed. It's like, it's going to come back in the spring, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because they don't do both. They can only do one parade at a time, the staging area.
Yeah. So,
Pretty sure. Yeah.
We can literally just search paint. Paint.
I'm trying to think. I'm like, was there a time that they would do like electrical parade and yes.
Oh, okay. Paint the.
Pretty sure.
Paint the Night isn't even popping up in the app, so they're definitely not doing it right now.
It's definitely postponed.
Yeah, which it's supposed to be right now.
Yeah.
So, anyways,
it's out of season.
So we watched the parade. Haven't watched A Christmas Fantasy in a long time. It was pleasant. I liked it. That was nice.
It's fun, yeah.
It's funny when it's
classic.
like 3 p.m. watching a Christmas parade in broad daylight, but it was cool.
Yeah.
And then hopped on the train, which we had to wait a little while. Okay. I like the the train cars, like the sideways ones or whatever.
Yeah.
But you got to be moving constantly because people keep getting off. Whereas the front facing one, at least like you just sit on your bench, right? Because people don't share the bench with you.
No.
But anyways, it was nice going on the train. We already knew everything was going to take long on the train. So the plan was go to Tomorrowland on the train, One, we didn't want to walk through the crowds.
No.
It became, this isn't a good form of transportation in the park. However, we don't want to walk to Tomorrowland, and we don't really have a plan. Oh, right. I forgot. We actually started in DCA.
Oh.
We went to Smoke Jumpers. Kimmy got the fries with the sausage or whatever. I wasn't hungry yet. I had a big breakfast. And then she got the cold brew at Smoke Jumpers, which was fine. Anyways, then we went to Disney. I didn't see anything. I didn't buy anything else. Yeah, so we rode the train to Tomorrowland. It was quite busy there as well. And then we got on the monorail and went to Trader Sam's. And I was like, there are multiple ways to buy the zombie mug. I'm going to stand in line. I talked to some people, help them understand what they can order, and that like they can, someone clarified this. You can order Tangaroa Terrace food at the walk-up window. But to view the menu for the drinks, you have to go to Trader Sam's, even though on top it says Tangaroa Terrace. Because they're like, there's no to-go drinks? I'm like, no, there are. They're like, it's not here. I'm like, look up Trader Sam's, but the food. And then someone's like, no, you can also order the food. But it's the Tangaroa Terrace food, which is 90% the same usually.
Yeah.
If not 99, right? There's sometimes one stupid item or secret, whatever. While I'm standing in line, I see 2 seats open up. But Kimmy had like walked in. So I texted her. I'm like, cool, look at the seats. Just go grab them.
Yeah.
Because if I leave the line, I'm going to have to explain this to people. And I also don't want to let these two, I felt bad for these 2 people in front of me. But I also really want those 2 stools.
Mm-hmm.
So and
outside bar at Trader Sam's, highly underrated.
Yeah. So
really good.
It was like the 4:30 p.m. team though. So
yeah, it's fine.
So Kimmy went and got the seats. I ordered the zombie toddy. I actually liked it. I thought I was gonna hate it.
Nice.
It was good. It's funky though. It's a hot toddy, but a little different. So I ordered that. And Kimmy's like, I'll take a look at the food. If I don't like anything, we'll go to Earl's. I'm like, you had mentioned next time it's cold, then we go to Trader Sam's. You want the ramen? And she was like, ooh. So we ordered 2 ramens.
Hit.
Some of the best egg I've had in ramen, which was surprising. It was pretty spicy because they put the thing. I just got it with everything. And this is where things got weird. I wanted a second mug for my cousin. And I'm like, can I get it with another drink? Like, no, only zombie toddy. Like, can I get it with her drink? The mojito thing. The drink on the menu that's non-alcoholic. No. And then he's like, oh, you can order it with a fountain drink. But there's a shift change. He's like, we're going to close it out. So they closed out my check, and I got only the 1 mug. Then the next shift came in. And so I asked the guy. I'm like, no other drink? He's like, no. Because you can just pick a non-alcoholic drink, though. I'm like, oh.
Nice.
Well, they already, but that check was closed out. I'm like, all right, give me the skipper thing.
Skipper sipper. Yeah.
Skipper sipper. So I had to pay for that drink. Or I guess it was part of the mug, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I had to pay for the second drink, which it is what it is. So I got my 2 mugs. This is like my 4th day of drinking, so I only got the 1 zombie toddy. And they said something with inventory issues. I wonder if at the bar, they have to ring it up as a zombie toddy.
Mm-hmm.
So then it counts more or less how much alcohol was used or what was used.
Yeah.
So they can't be like, I sold the zombie toddy, but I served him a tequila casita or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So I guess, but like, come on, guys, let's fix that. But yeah, as we were leaving, your homegirl Melissa showed up, and I was like,
oh yeah,
no, we're just one short of the big time. But yeah, so then we just kind of grabbed our stuff and walked to the parking lot. But that outdoor bar is nice.
It's really nice. I like that spot.
Yeah.
It's the only problem with Trader Sam's. I'm just like, by comparison, you go to Stowaway, you go to any of these tiki bars, you're going to pay a little bit less, and you're probably going to have a higher quality beverage. But if you have the A team working there at Trader Sam's, you're going to get something special.
Dude, now like I know the usual suspects, none of them were there. You know what though?
Well, in particular, when you go on a mug release day, they're
no, it was the day after. Oh, they're still like, I'm out.
Yeah,
Felipe was inside, I heard.
See,
Shout out
Felipe will do that.
dude.
Felipe's awesome.
Felipe's cool.
If you ever see that guy at Trader Sam's,
yeah,
you're in for a good time.
He's a real one. You just got to be real with him.
Yeah.
But
They
yeah,
don't make you anything. Yeah, that's the beauty of it. That's
did
another
you ever?
thing I love
Oh
about
no,
tiki
we
bars.
never tried the Shut Up Felipe.
No,
It's a mezcal drink, dude. I'm good. You were gonna do it, and I told you not to, right?
No,
He's like, I'm not a tequila guy. I'm like, then you're not a mezcal guy.
No.
Yeah. But anyways, we made do. We had a good time.
Nice.
Glad we did Trader Sam's. Glad I got my mug. Shout out my cousin Alex, who listened to the last episode twice because he was driving, and I'm like, why'd you listen twice? What was it? What was the last episode of Trammin?
The security one.
It might have been even the get away from it all. I don't remember,
Yeah.
but he said, "Oh yeah, I was driving," and then the next day the topic came on, and I just let it roll. I'm like, all right,
Nice.
okay, that's why I released it, I guess. But yeah, so I guess you don't have a We Haven't So Good.
No, yeah, because I haven't hit the parks. But you know what we
Kai?
did? Yeah, Tiki Kai.
I can't believe that was like in the last week because of just
so much.
so much.
Yeah, but Tiki Kai opened in Hermosa Beach. It is the latest tiki bar in Southern California.
Definitely not Orange County. You almost did it.
Yeah, I almost did it, but it's definitely LA. But I was like, another great spot. This is much more, if you are going to tiki bars, this is much more on the strong water side of things, where it is much more like sort of a fine dining concept when it comes to the menu. The executive chef is from Duke's
you had a
Malibu.
burger and I had chicken nuggies, so
Yes, but they were, the gourmet version of that.
Yeah, I
because
know.
if you wanted to actually get a like true entree, you're going to be spending like $50-$60. And it's like, I wasn't going to do that.
I was like, let's just try the regular stuff this time.
Yeah, but maybe next time, but like next time, maybe
I wasn't in a tomahawk mood.
No, no.
I'm not cutting into a tomahawk with the boys, you know?
Well, and that's the thing. Maybe next time we do get like 2 entrees and we just split them up, and to make it a little bit more economical. But the cocktail prices were very good. They were great cocktails for what we had. I've heard like sort of middling things from some people, but I think it's mostly people who went really early on. You go to any of these tiki bars at the very beginning and they're still working out the kinks. Not everybody who works at a tiki bar is somebody who's into tiki beverages or tiki in general. The manager that evening was talking to us and she was like, I wasn't into this stuff. I just, got hired here. It's like, that's industry wide. Like that's a standard thing. Like tiki, again, as we say, there are dozens of us.
I think that worked in her favor.
Oh yeah.
Because she said, I've been in hospitality. I don't know if she said for 10 years or 4 years.
It was over 10 years. Yeah.
Yeah. So she knows hospitality as opposed to, no offense, a lot of tiki bars are just run by a bunch of teenage boys.
Yeah. Or, 40-year-old teenage boys. But
yeah,
but
that's
still,
what
it's the thing where, and this is why I was giving a comparison to Strongwater, because it's a place that hospitality is the core of what they do. And yes, that's the intention of every tiki bar, but some deliver on that more than others. That doesn't mean that they're bad. Every tiki bar is special in its own way. But like Tiki Kai being on that level where it's mid-century modern, and then you throw in tiki and a bunch of skulls instead of your jade tiles that you'd have in other bars. Like, I think Tiki Kai delivered on the kitschiness of tiki that some bars are afraid to do these days.
Yeah, but I think it wasn't full kitsch. I think it was like, it's like not even camp. It's they were in on it.
Yeah.
Like a self-aware, like, we're gonna be a little silly, but we're also going to take this seriously, but not too seriously, because Strongwater takes it very seriously. And like, not naming the other name, I'm not saying anything bad about Stowaway. I'm excluding them from what I'm talking about. There are other names, though, that aren't any of these three, that their shtick is like, it's so cool that we own a tiki bar, right? And we want to be cool. Whereas, like, Tiki Kai was like, all right, we're going to, like, put something great out for you guys. And yeah, Strongwater's like, we take this super seriously. The only thing silly is sometimes the bartenders are silly, but that's if you get that out of them, right? But it's like the names aren't too silly on the things. Like the holiday names are silly.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, it was such a buttoned up experience, but I didn't feel like I needed to be buttoned up.
No.
I think that's what was important. They were very chill. I told you, it's like Strongwater with the lights on.
Yeah, right? That's a good, that was a really good comparison.
And it didn't fill up too crazy.
No.
It was interesting to see a lot of people not realizing what they got themselves into.
Yeah. No, we were one of the few parties in the whole establishment that were actually like wearing tiki shirts, like actually came knowing that we were.
Yeah, like
going
some
to a
lady
tiki
was like,
bar.
"Oh, nice coordination." I'm like, first of all, this is what you wear here. Second, I wore this to work.
But it's so fascinating because I think part of it is that this bar, because it has the executive chef of the currently closed Malibu Dukes, and it has a world-class bartender who's leading the bar program. I forget the gentleman's name, but it's like he's pretty big in the tiki community. Like he's one of those people who goes to Tiki Oasis and wins second or first for best cocktail of the convention. So like that's where you have this reputation. And that means that you get recognized by the food and drink magazines and all the people in LA. And so they were looking at like they would have 100 people line up on the weekends to try and get in there. Like their reservations have pretty much been booked up almost a month out. And part of that is their reservation system is pretty bad right now. There's no $20 for cancellation within the certain thing. So there's no potential penalty, which means that everyone's just picking up unlimited reservations.
And it's open table.
Like, yeah.
I think a lot of places left Resi probably because of the exposure is not as high on Resi.
Mm-hmm.
However, I feel like because Resi is smaller, people make the reservation with the intention of going. Resi's mostly like American Express customers too. And so yeah, open table, you just pick up reservations and like if they don't charge you don't really care. It's kind of like why Disney has the penalty on the reservations. You don't want to just have people swoop them up and not care. But we got a 4:15 reservation at 12:15. So
there it is. I think if you just have the intention, you really want to do it, you'll find a way to get in. And again, it is brand new. So once you give it like a month or two, things start to even out and people know what the establishment is. And it should be in general a little easier to get in. You'll have more walk-up potential or potential to pick up day of reservations, but definitely look at reservations before just showing up. Do not assume you can go to a place that's booked up and you're just going to walk up to the bar. That just is not going to happen.
I appreciate now there were no tiki mugs for sale yet.
Not yet.
Everything is tariffs and shipping.
They're already working on it. They already they said they're 6 months out from their first mugs, which is better than some places.
Yeah. But now to be fair, we got like 5 or 6 drinks total. But every drink we got was in a different kind of glass, which was nice. John had a bamboo-ish one. I had the ship one and something with like some carvings. Yeah. You had this like cool little like half barrel thing.
That was a little Aztec carving on it. Yeah. For the what was the first drink that I had? It was the Navy Grog? No. Jet Pilot.
Yeah,
Jet Pilot was on fire.
Yeah. That's it was something that was driving.
Yeah.
I got a Chief Lapu Lapu and I don't know. And you got some sort of painkiller?
So right? Yeah, I had the painkiller. And they had the one I had in the middle, which was kind of an old fashioned presentation.
Yeah.
It was a zombie, but it was like deconstructed. So it was all liqueurs poured over rocks. So it's not like a traditional shaken zombie cocktail. So it is very intense, not for the faint of heart. But very interesting. And I think that's one of those things of, certain tiki bars are more into experimentation. The first time we went to Lucky Tiki, very experimental. Not all of the cocktails were perfect.
And then when we went with John, they just were like, here's a thing that we've made maybe once. The volcano may or may not erupt. Here's some shots of rum. And then we poured the shots of rum in the thing.
to balance it out because it was
and we're like, hey, this is really good. And they're like, oh, noted.
Yeah. Well, and then that was actually the experimentation for Lucky Tiki Highland Park.
Oh, okay.
Because that's the volcano. That's the Tiki Diablo. If you go to the Highland Park location.
Yeah, we gotta figure that out.
We have to. You guys just gotta come say hi. We'll do that. But anyway, that was our experience. That was my, I guess.
Yeah. I gotta get that burger now. It seems like you guys were like losing your minds over it.
So good.
I got chicken karage, but it was like chicken thighs. They were cooked pretty perfectly. The taste was great. The fries were fine. Nothing to write home about. Whatever. But they both came with like the same like aioli, which was pretty good. We got a baked Alaska just to like kind of top off the night.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, it was fun. Beautiful. And everyone was really nice. Yeah, shout out manager Carla, server Kobe, and whoever the nice gentleman filling our waters was.
Yes. Gosh. Yeah. Didn't get his name.
Yeah, but we had a great time. It's very far.
Yeah.
Dane replied, "The boys in the South Bay on a school night." I was like, yeah, man.
Yeah.
And it was the rainiest night too. That was a gauntlet driving back, dude.
Dude,
You were in the passenger seat of John's car, but
that was awesome.
dude, I was just
the shot of your car of your license plate was so good, just with the red lighting. I was so happy
Did
about
you guys
that.
see me when I turned my light on to kind of signal
Yes.
you? Yeah, okay.
Yes.
I wasn't sure because I'm like, I can't look to the side too long. I'll die.
No.
And I was just driving like two hands on the wheel.
Yep.
Not even something I'm going to do something. I'm like, someone else is going to do something and drift into me. So yeah, but we did have a great time. Worth the drive. Oh, wait. We're going back.
We are going back.
I got to put that in the calendar because I don't even remember.
Oh no. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. 8th, right?
I don't know.
No,
yeah,
no,
we'll check. We'll
check
confirm
that.
with everyone too. We should probably do that.
Everybody
You know what?
remembers.
I'll text and I'll tell Jeff and Rain. It is worth it.
100%.
Great experience. Great.
Yeah.
Will they give us the funky triangle table?
I hope so.
Is there 5 of us?
There's 5 of
In the
us.
notes,
So-
you should write 5 big boys.
Because
Because that booth we were in,
5. Well, those were for 4.
that's 4. Yeah,
So
they said it for 4.
5. It's going to have to be the
I
difference.
think
And
they had a different one. Of
the
back.
reservations, as far as I saw, there was a clear delineation between when you were booking with 4 people and 5 and up. So I assume we're going to get a 5. That also means that we might not get the booths. We might get the lower tables.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's fine.
But there was nothing going on in the booth. It was just cool.
No,
Yeah.
it was cool. And and you have the little
Yeah, and I
vignettes
got to
and
say, the
videos.
decor, perfect.
Flawless.
If Freddie told me a former Imagineer worked on it, I'd believe him. But there was no starry sky.
No, and that was okay.
Yeah,
I mean,
I know. It
it's-
just
yeah,
the lava on the floor, the rock work, all that,
was
wonderful
so
stuff.
cool. And it's just that mid-century thing, man.
It was
I love to
mid-century
see
without being too Incredibles mid-century contemporary. It was just
Yeah.
like actual mid-century nods,
Yeah.
and it felt authentic
Mhm.
as opposed to like, look at this chair.
Yeah.
So, how am I forgetting his name? Wonderful listener. Oh no. He knows because we call him Mr. Mid-Century Modern.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, this is gonna kill me because I feel bad now. I know what his face looks like. I feel like that matters. Anyways, yeah, Mod Pro 1 Instagram, but his name, why?
It'll come to you.
Yeah, I know it's gonna come to me as soon as we stop airing, and then I'm gonna be like, no, oh no, it better still be recording.
Technology, guys. Technology. Yeah, see, there we are. Hopefully it's still going. He's coming back. There it is. All right. Well, if I take anything, that's going to be assigned to move on in here, to our
looks
closing.
like it's
Pizza time.
one last bite. Freddie, what's beyond the yellow line for you? What are you looking forward to?
Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving, Kirk.
Yeah, we didn't even say that.
No, we didn't.
Oh, I have it written down over here. Yeah, okay. Thanksgiving meal. What are you looking forward to? Do you guys feel like you're a yams and marshmallows family?
Yes, that's there. I'm not
Got
a yams and
him.
marshmallow person, but that is definitely going to be at the table. This year we are contributing. I think last year we did the same. Mashed potatoes. Anna and I get all the fixings together and make excellent mashed potatoes for the family.
How
there.
many sticks of butter?
I don't know how many we buy here for this.
At least a full stick.
Oh, for sure.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. We're good.
I think
We're
we have
good.
a tub, and that's what we've
Approved.
taken out.
Is
But
it
yeah.
real butter though?
Oh yeah,
Okay. All right.
also good stuff.
None of that country crock.
No, no.
You said tub. I gotta.
Yeah.
All
Just
right,
qualify,
all right.
qualify that. We've been doing a lot of Trader Joe's shopping lately. That's the new home for us. For
Oh yeah,
everything.
that's our grocery store because it's a minute away.
We used to get everything from Costco for like the most part, and then otherwise do like Ralph's or whatever. But it's just
I used to be all in on Costco lettuce. Last time it was all bugs.
nasty.
Trader Joe's.
That's Trader Joe's is the way to go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But yeah, no, Thanksgiving, excited about it. We're actually, we're doing 2 Thanksgivings. We're doing Thanksgiving with my family earlier in the day, like for lunch. And then for dinner, we're going to go over to her aunt's and have Thanksgiving with her family. So it's like really fun.
We're doing like 1 1/4 Thanksgivings. We're saying hello to one and then going to the other but then we're swapping for Christmas. So
That's smart. That's a good way to do it.
yeah,
too.
that's what happens.
The nice thing is because Anna's family celebrates Christmas basically on Christmas Eve, and then my family celebrates Christmas morning.
Yeah, we do Christmas Eve for both families.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's hard.
So and
It's hard
we
to
just
do.
Christmas Day is just like a wash.
Yeah.
We actually have like a new weird Christmas Day tradition where now like my family comes here and my dad cooks in my kitchen, and then we drive down and go hang out with Kimmy's sister.
Well, yeah.
We just kind of like we explore on Christmas Day, which is kind of nice.
It's nice that you will have the opportunity to, because with Anna and I, it's like, will you get the day off from work? Will you be asked to come in? You never know.
Right, because the downtown Disney never closes. Portos, man. What are they going to do?
That'll be interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe a Chick-fil-A situation there where it's like, they're just going to be like, yeah, you wanted us. Well, you're going to have to
Porto's
deal with
vending
that.
machine. Potato balls.
Hey, at least the Tiki Bar will not be open on those holidays.
Yeah.
At least we're sane there. As sane as can be.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to some stuffing.
Oh, yeah.
Some
Stuffing,
desserts.
turkey.
We're bringing back the Costco pumpkin
Pies.
cheesecake. Have you had that?
No.
It's fantastic. It has its own special freezer
Wow.
because like they have all the regular cheesecakes
Yeah.
and it got so popular. They're just like, here's the pumpkin cheesecake.
The pumpkin cheesecake.
It's really
freezer.
light on the pumpkin and the cheesecake, which is nice. It's
Interesting.
just like a nice dessert. It's not like pumpkin pie.
That's good. You don't want to be too inundated. You're already going to be eating too
Yeah.
much anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, that'll be good. You'll watch Trammin or Defunctland. Jeez.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
yeah. There it is.
And a new abandoned Nara Dreamland. It was on Patreon,
yeah.
so you'll see it soon.
Eventually, yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I think he does it in like 3 days. So
It's a quick turnaround.
yeah.
Yeah, but that's it. That's all I'm looking for. For now, and then Trammin meet up pretty soon after.
I am looking forward to the Trammin meetup. I don't know who's going. I mean, I know that the crew is going. That'll be great. Friday, December 5th, 5 p.m. Possibly earlier.
Drop in when you can. We'll let you know.
Yeah.
when we're
I
hitting
always
the
say,
parks.
hang out as long or as little as you want.
Yeah.
You will probably somehow end up making a friend and talking to them more than me. But feel free. I'd love talking to all of you. And like we said, I'm just forgetting names now. But anyways, if you ever see me out there, say hello. I will always be in a better mood because you said hello. So yeah. With that,
Thank you all for listening. Happy Thanksgiving.
see you real soon. Bye.
Thanks for traveling with us today, and we hope you have a happy and memorable visit to the Disneyland Resort. Please lower your head, watch your step, and exit to the driver's right-hand side only.